Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Let's get started here. We are back doing Handyman with Unicycle things. Get music going. Is that working successfully? Yes, it seems to be. Let me pull up I meant to pull up this earlier, the Google Doc for this game that we're working on. Okay, just have that off to the side, occasionally reference. Alright, hello. I didn't stream any of yesterday, which I would have liked to. That didn't happen. I was working on some other school stuff that I wasn't really able to stream. Oh yeah, I forgot I stopped the... Huh. Interesting. This is mildly interesting, just seeing... like, I forgot I froze the camera earlier when I was trying to get a good recording of the clock turning. But this is interesting seeing just this. This could also make for a good, like, main menu kind of a thing. Just pre-rendered animations or something like that of player character just, like, riding around as stuff's going on. Like, run over this way, then over here, stop, now do something, run over this way. That'd be a bit of a different camera angle, but that could be a good, like, main menu sort of thing. Could be interesting. Anyways, so last time what we did, to sort of recap, is this updating? This isn't updating, and I think it should be. Oh no. Hold on, let me troubleshoot that. I know it should be at a 1, so, Oh, it updated now. Okay, maybe it's just more delayed. Okay, whatever, that's fine, won't worry about it. I just want to make sure that it could update it at all. Anyways, yeah, so last time what we did was this clock thing that's still a work in progress. And also, right now it's spinning a lot faster than it will actually be in-game. Just so we can see it working. In the actual game, it'll be spinning at, like, 1 real-world minute for 1 in-game hour, I think will be about what we do. But right now, it's spinning way faster for the sake of it. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how it's coming along. Like, the numbers are, like, it looks nice and stylized, and these having different fonts. And funny enough, there are, I think, 3 different fonts going on here, but, like, it doesn't look, like, having too many fonts can sometimes be bad for all your in-game menuing stuff. But this, it looks fine. I think it serves a purpose because of the way it looks less like menu text and more like, you know, something plastered on, in this case, a clock, and all that. Still, you know, work in progress, so, you know, make some changes here and there, but, yeah, so far, I think it's looking great. Especially the way that the numbers kind of ka-chunk. They have this sort of elastic movement. Also the hour hand too. I quite like it. Yeah. And all the numbers do switch over how they should when we get from like 9 to 10, the one part, like the tens column changing over. And 1 second. Yeah. And the 12 go back to the 1, like it all flips over properly, and the AM going to PM. Yeah. One idea I had was for another way of how we label the closing time is that the actual numbers could become green. Like, if you need to get to 7 o'clock, then, like, once it's at a 0, the 0 becomes green. Once it's at a 7, like, the 7 number is colored green. And then the AM, PM, like, whichever, like, it needs to be, those are colored green. So that sort of, like, could tell you sort of, like, yeah, which numbers are you're like going towards. Okay, let me explain what I mean a bit better. If I were to grab, say this, that's an ugly green, but let's just pretend it's a bright, vibrant green. Let's say you need to go to 7 o'clock. So I need to find 7. Wait, is it that side of the 7? Yeah, conveniently. If by programming I did this, and yeah, for sake of example, make this a more bright, vibrant green. No, let's say that we need to go to PM. That's going to be harder to just mess with. And actually, I don't remember whether this flips up or down, so we're just going to do that. Oh yeah, the AM, PM text, each individual one is a single text element. So, let's see. So right now, if our goal time is 7 PM, then like, oh, the 0's green, because that's one element of what we need this to be, I guess. You can see a bit of the green of the next number coming in. So it's like, yeah, all right, we hit 7. But, you know, didn't get all 3 elements to be green. So in a minute, once this gets to PM. Now the PM is green, because that's what we needed there, and then the 0 is green. So see, as like as it gets closer to the end time, the different elements kind of fill in. So or fill in terms of being green, and then they're all green. Woo, we won the level. That could be a thing. Accompanied by other things. That could be like one of a few things that we do, which could be interesting. It would mean that now, programmatically, I would need to change. Here, actually, I'm gonna copy this color, and instead of using this green, that's actually what's like. This is meant to be like a generic green. I'd rather. We're gonna move it over to have an actual material on the UI thing that it's referencing instead. Correct number, I guess. And you are a nice glowing green. So I could, based on what number I set to be the number we're trying to hit, make those numbers green. Yeah, let's do that. I like it. I like the idea of it, I think. And could do like a few things, because also the time we need to hit on the clock could make that green as well. I had that as an idea. Also, maybe making 1 second. Making whatever number you have to hit like bigger. I don't know if I like how it looks though. But just it being green, is that too much green? I don't know. One thing I did want is a thing underneath that says, like, that, like, spells it out, where the start to closing time. Like we've drawn on here. See that? Kind of see it? Maybe. Very small for you guys, but having this, like, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. is, like, that's the time we're trying to hit. And also a day thing. I kind of want these bits of UIs to look like planks of wood. Kind of. That's the idea I have in mind. Yeah. So that, in addition, I don't know what font those are going to have. We'll figure that out. That'll look more like, yeah, text written on a piece of wood. It'd be cool if maybe it looked like paint, like white paint painted on a thing of wood. Could be a design direction we go in. Anyway, so now I'm being indecisive of what I want to do. Actually, I think I'm going to change my mind, and before we do the green text thing, I kind of want to get those other elements in there. Because the wood thing, I know for sure that I want. The green text, I'm a little on the fence. So let me do the thing that's more, I'm more confident that I want it, I guess. Wait, now the question is, yeah, do I put this in the same, as the same model? I think yes. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a part of the clock. So, yeah. And then we'll have the wrenches UI underneath eventually too. So this is going to be, I'm going to generically call it wood. Could do some procedural texturing stuff here to make it look more wood-like. But for now, let's go for might be easier to color it with better lighting, but whatever. That's good for like a, yeah. It's good for an color for right now. So now in terms of how it's hanging, kind of like. Also, I don't know if the two pieces sort of look like they're connected in any way. Okay, I have an idea of how it's gonna go. So this is gonna be time wood and day wood. I don't know. Here, let me, I don't know what this is gonna be. Something like this. It needs to be able to fit whatever text it needs to. Will that text also have this border? Maybe I'll try to have that. So let me copy this. Let's put this. For now, let's just give me the sample text of. Oh, I can only change one at a time. I mean, yeah, it makes sense, but it is right at the whole thing of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I need to be able to change these to any number configuration in Unity, though, which I'm just realizing might be an issue. The A is doing weird things there, but 9 a.m. this? Why is the A doing that? Weird. Why? It's not happening on any of that. Yeah, let's just see if I can mess with it real quick. It's only on the outline part. And I don't even know if this part will have the outline. I mean, it probably should, because it would make it more legible. Just see if I can mess with it and do anything to make whatever is happening there not happen. I don't even know if that's really visible. Maybe make it a bit thicker? We'll see. We shall see. Anyways, so if this was the text here, and let me also just quickly make the other half of this, which is the day counter. And generically, I'm going to say it's day 12. Doing this now, it feels like the text part of this should maybe come from Unity, so that I can just change text fields. But just as almost like a proof of concept. I can give it the same font in Unity. Like I can, exactly what I've done here to make the text, I can do the exact same thing in Unity. Except it won't be, I won't have 3D text, but I don't need that on the clock. It's, yeah, it'd be fine. I think. Okay, I don't know how far down these are moved. Play around with the depth a tiny bit and just like move these down like this is. Okay. Let's just, yeah, this is like the proof of concept of can this look good. And then I can make text in Unity to then like size it to this text and then get rid of this text. This is more like the placeholder. In fact, if I want the placeholder, I should have all of these be 12s because that's like the wood should be able to fit like the largest amount of text that there can be, right? So let's just make like the longest text is this basically. I mean, I don't know if this is gonna go to like day 100, but let's just, for sake of, let's just make sure it can do 3 decimal places. I mean, yeah, the size of the block could change depending on the level, but I'd prefer if I didn't have to do that, just like one size fits all kind of a thing. Could also scale down the text, but yeah, for now, again, just like proof of concept. Its current size, yeah, it's having to be quite wide to fit that. And then the idea of how it connected to the other, to the clock, we're just doing something like this. But I see that it, this is going to have to be a lot smaller to work properly. I'd prefer if how far out this goes, like the edges of this are basically like in line with the edges of the clock would be preferable. So this could be like a 1-2 thing, but I feel like if this thing is smaller, because I'm going to inevitably make it smaller, probably, I'll only want the one piece of wood there. And let me try, actually, let me perfectly make this negative, just because symmetry and all that. So as a, yeah, proof of concept, let me name things. Support. Oh, the day would support. And then let me also mess with the where the text, the names of them and all that. All these guys, yeah. We just do this for a moment. There. And then now rearrange these better. So this is open, close, text. We'll call it text. It's numbers, but it's numbers and text, whatever. This is same thing, but outline. This is day text. And this is day text. This one's the outline, right? I'm pretty sure. Okay. So just as a, yeah, let's just see what's looking like so far on the Unity end. Not gonna see it right away. I need to tell those UI elements to be, oh, it is there. Okay, well, I do need to do, I'm pretty sure I need to do this though for, the lighting, yes. Okay. It's definitely too wide, but I kind of knew that would happen, and it is something we are going to address. But let me just set up these materials, and maybe on the Unity side get a better wood looking material. I mean, I need to add the emission, but hard to do this as just a solid color, but it is what we're doing for now. Eventually I could mess with texturing stuff, but for now, it also doesn't have to be a wood color, but that's just what I was thinking initially. Let me Google thing. So, you know, like fairs on a pier, like these kind of docks, that color of wood is what I'm imagining, I think. Like a light, well, not that dark. Okay, maybe not. I'm thinking about like a light brown. Huh. So let me just go light brown hex code. Let's just try a few. Oops. On both the emission and the upper thing. Can I not do hex values in HDR color? No. Fine. I'll do it here. Don't know that too much. That's bright. Not what I'm going for. No. This is an idea. Make that completely black for a second. Just. Not that pale. Like I said, light brown, but that just feels very pale. I don't know. Let's try more shades of brown. Like, kind of like, I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me actually look for like pictures of wood. Like this. This is what I'm going for. This kind of color, I think. I don't know how to get to that kind of point. Can I hex outside of Unity? I can. Just grab that and that. Yeah, that doesn't really work. It might be the kind of thing that's hard to get right without it being a proper texture. It's also weird that I'm having to like bounce between two colors or two like fields, the emission here and the normal albedo diffuse color. Something, I don't know. I mean, I could go in just a wildly different direction, be like, let's make it blue for some reason. I don't know. But no, could do like a red and yellow, but I like the idea of the more polished model of this being just like chunks of wood. play around with it a bit more and see if... you know what? That's wood enough, maybe. Hold on. I was about to give up. You know what? It's good enough. It's fine. Okay. Good enough as a default color. Let me get something that's like closer in Blender, even though color doesn't really matter over here anymore. It's kind of just that. Not really, but good enough, maybe. Whatever, it's fine. Okay, but it's still not to actually change it more. It's not still not how I want it to be. So let me mess with bring these in a bit more. Wait. Oh, I didn't actually move the other two. Where's over here? Should we be parenting things more? Like this being parent under... No, wait. Parent that under that. Parent that under the support things, I guess. Oh yeah, these are all of the outlines. I probably should. Let me just do that real quick. I'm not going to go through and rename them all. Oh yeah, this is all happening behind my head, but I'm just moving things around in the hierarchy to be more organized. Organization is good. That was for the clock numbers. Okay, I won't worry about it on the like the spin blocks. No, it's fine. Okay. So. Oh yeah, how's that outline looking? I'm not sure on that. Oh. I move things around, but I didn't think that would mean I'd have to redo this thing, but okay. Huh. It's weird them casting shadows, it's so weird. Hey, well, we can see the clear difference, though, that having the outlines versus not. Like, it makes the numbers a lot more legible, so that's good. Although, like, on these, though, I don't know. Oops. What if it was just black text? I have to, like, move it. If I just hide it here, it's not going to hide it there, but this will, like, move out of the way for the moment. I like the idea of them all, like, all the bits of text being white. I think I prefer that. Just like, yeah, being consistent with the text colors. At this size, the day 100 is very visible here. And what's weird is that, yeah, I can't make the outline be thicker. Or it didn't seem like I could. Like, it was just being weird with the scaling on the A for some reason. It's happening a little bit on the 0 here, but it's not really there. It's not really a problem. It doesn't, like, weirdly, like, come out on all these directions here. But either way, all this is too big still. So let me next try just... I want to scale it down so that, like, the side of this is with the side of this. And the side of this is with the side of this. So let's make that happen to start. And see if that even works, or if the text is now too small. Or it being close, anyway. Well, now I want to move the support without... Maybe this should be the other way around. Wait, why did that happen? Just gonna move it out. Like it to keep its offset. Come on. Whatever. If I just do it to this as well, it'll be consistent at least, probably. I'm also realizing that I'd rather reverse the names of these so that they're together. Go wood day. so that all the things with wood, like all the pieces of wood, they're together in the hierarchy. Yeah. Okay, fine. So now I can scale these down again. Still having these be kind of symmetrical. This could have like two, like one here and one here, but I just want to try having just one for right now. This be a little longer then. Nope. Okay, just yeah, how's that on text size? When it eventually re-imports. Why'd you go over here? What? Sure. Okay. Oh, that's so tiny. That's so tiny. And this still has the outline. Like, get rid of that again, because it's almost making it, like, worse. Might have to rethink how I style this then. Yeah, that's actually more legible. The super thin outline makes it less legible, I think. Maybe it's just on these colors. Yeah, strange. Very no. So it's fine. It looks kind of fine here, but just in Unity, it's not. So here's the one thing I can do is at least get rid of the dashes here. Now I have more room to work with. The text can be bigger with taking up a little less space. And I think I'm gonna delete these for now. These should be the same size though. I could have one be bigger than the other, but I think I prefer that they're the same size. So let me actually I can dude, no, I need to scale just the wood now. No, how do I do this? I want to scale the wood without scaling the text here. But can't I Alt to keep transforms? Oh, yeah, that's the thing I can do. Okay, yeah. Just be a little less. Maybe this being a little less if I can help it. No, hold on. No. Yeah, this can be like right to this because again, the normal situation is it being less than 100. But I just wanted like 100 to be capable of fitting without going overboard. I think. I don't know. I should mess with the Y part. Okay. No, I just want these. Move them together if I can. Yeah, have them be like really close together instead. I don't need to move the supports. They're not the problem right now. See, this can't be perfectly symmetrical because this one is just longer. I could maybe stack them like this, but I don't want to because I don't want the UI to be super long, and it kind of is. Wait, weird thing. If I actually don't have a space here, does that like look weird? There's like a a bit of a space. And maybe there's a space, but like it's less of a space. Could try, yeah, squishing them together more. Because I'm trying to make this as big as possible, I think? I don't know. Try doing that. I'm really close, and then I don't like how far that's coming out now, though. Okay, maybe this idea won't work like I was hoping it would. I don't know. How does this look in gameplay? It is... If the text is bigger now... Oh, wait. I need to move things. So things don't cast shadows. Oh, and that's... Color's better like that, but it can't be casting shadows like that. Okay, I think this now needs to be a little... Just a tad. Okay, I think I just went a bit too much. I don't want to be filling up too much of the screen is what I don't know. I mean, I don't need the day part. But I don't know, I kind of liked having it. It's more like a level counter. But, here. Let me try bringing back the outlines now, which I did by duplicating the text. And then... Actually, I think I need to do it one at a time. But, duplicate the text. Give it the different material. And then change bevel to 0.05. And then go SZ.1. Yeah, it's still doing that thing. I wish... Yeah, not good. But let me just see if, how it's looking. Excluding that. It's only on the A, which is weird. I can't just use different wording to not have A's and M's. What was I needing to do? Changing the material. Yeah. Yeah. I just want to see what that's looking like in Unity. In a moment. You got to redo the whole this thing. I almost think that makes it look a little worse. Let me compare. Oops. No, I'm trying to collect you. Ah, come on. I'll compare it with and without. Yeah, I like it better when it's just white for that, I think. I don't know why, it just works a little better. And then also this was a problem anyway. But yeah, how am I, oops. 1 second. Let me bring back camera stuff. And yeah. I don't know, it's not that intrusive. I mean, I could just make it the whole thing just maybe a little bit smaller. I can scale down all of this, or I could scale it down in Unity. But I think I'll scale down the whole thing and see. Maybe it's fine. Because, as another thing, I need to put even more UI below it. I need one more thing that is our number of strikes that we're currently at. Okay. One thing I also wanted to experiment with, something I kind of drew in on the whiteboard, but I wasn't sure if I actually wanted to do. It was just like a tiny little other piece of wood that's kind of connecting them. I don't know if that would be good or not. I mean, those ones could be different colors. Like I have a light wood and a dark wood. These also need to move over now, I think. Mm-hmm. Oops. Okay. Okay, let's make 2 of these. Start with the wood as it is now, and then make it a new material and go wood dark. I guess, and just make this more of a brown. Oh wait, this needs to just... Yeah, right, they're not all one object, yes. Mm-hmm. Let's see if that helps. We're gonna see. Okay, so it's basically black right now. That is about to change. Yep. Once it does its thing, still need the a bit of a mission here. So let's see what color maybe looks good. They shouldn't be that different, but they should just be not exactly the same, I guess. So it still may like not that dark of a brown, but just maybe just like that actually. It's more orange, but no, I think I had it a second ago. Oops. This, but just no, maybe just like that. That's too orange. I can see it, or it's working, I think. So one thing, though, right now, immediately, is I don't have a way of actually changing this text, right? I would need to do that. And to do that, I think I need the text to be on the... Like, the text itself to be handled on the Unity side, so I can change it. Which means 2 things. One, I need this font here in Unity somewhere. So I'm actually going to make a folder called fonts. How do I... What font are you again? Forte MT. So somebody needs to get the font in here. Can I go like fonts, font settings, and see where my fonts are downloaded, and then is it Forte? That's the one, right? Can I like font file? Okay, I need that TTF. That's what I need, right? So I just need to go that folder, yeah. Over, the folder called fonts. Oh, Windows, fonts, System 32. Better delete that. How to destroy your computer easily. Okay, fonts. I don't know why I'm doing this off screen. Okay. Interesting that this, like, changed the window. Like, it looks different. What am I looking for? Forte. This guy. I just need to copy it over to in here. Import, Short Explorer, blah. Paste. Okay. That work. Do the do. Seems like it. So now, in order for these two to be able to have text, they'll need like a canvas and stuff. That's gonna go underneath wood day. So let's do that one first. So UI text. Oh, it's doing something. This needs to be a world canvas. Screen space, what space? I don't know where you went, but your big full-size thing. and you're all turned around. Okay, let me start by just... I can kind of see this text here. Oh, skewed. Let me just make the text how it maybe should be. So, text 100. Best fit. Let it overflow so I don't have to care about sizes and stuff. Oh. Do I center it? I think left aligned and then center from top down. Okay, font. Okay. You need to be a lot bigger. Stretch over your whole canvas. I thought I did best fit, which... Ah. Okay. Now this needs to... Why can't I see the dimensions of the canvas? Because the gizmo's on. Oh, okay, that would make more sense. It's kind of interesting how warped it is, but... Oh. See that spot, but where did the text itself go? I mean, maybe turned 180? Sure. You're still so massive. How tiny do you need to be? Yeah. Oops. Can I start to see it over here? No. Why not, actually? It's actually on the UI layer. So trying to make sure I'm doing this right. The width and all that of the canvas, that's something I do need to get how that works. Oh yeah, can I just kind of like... But messing with like the width of the canvas messes with like the resolution, I think. Oh yeah, this just needs to be here. Probably come out just a bit. At this point, I'm gonna hide. No, I won't. I was gonna hide the original text, but not just yet. I'm gonna make this text black just so I can see it easily, differently. Get it on top. Why are you rendering on top? Yeah, get my text to render on top. So the dimensions are weird. Start with that. Why are the dimensions weird? I shouldn't have to scale the canvas differently. Like, the canvas should be able to be uniform. Like, right now it's like 0.01 on every axis, but that shouldn't have to change. Reference pixels for unit. Oh, I forgot that's a thing. That. That's not doing anything. I don't know. Or, I don't know. Didn't have you not overflow? No, yeah, why are you so stretched out? Again, I know I can scale things, but I shouldn't have to. Right? The cam, like, nothing of here is scaled. Like, I brought this out up top. You shouldn't have moved. I don't know why you did. You're still stretched out. Fine, I'll just scale it better. Wait, I don't have to... Wait, isn't there a thing where I can let this be all big? But, well, yeah, they're this. Change how many pixels is a unit. I mean, that made that smaller. It didn't make this thing smaller. I like it, so I can mess with the width and all that. Well, why are you over there, though? Change all this. and height of the text here. Why do you be so big? That's because of the... I just don't want to know why the dimensions of this whole thing are just so massive. I don't want that to be a thing. I want to understand why it's happening. Changing... Oh, that's these. Oh. Gotcha. Okay. Learning, I guess. Seems to be like 10 by 10. Is changing this scale the text? No? Okay. I still also want to mess with this more. Get this to be like roughly the size it needs to be. Guess this to be in. A little bit wider than this, so 2. Okay, 2. Okay. 2. Okay. 0 OU. 0 U. Let that be 1.5 for now. And then this had to be spun around. Yep. Okay. So again, I ask, why is the text being... Oh, this also needs to be 2? 2 and, I don't know what I changed this to. What was it? 2 and 2? Okay. Why is 2 and 2 not a square? What? Weird. Anyway. Is it anything to do with the, overflow stuff? No? Okay, fine. Well. Still not matching. Really? Weird. Okay. Okay, maybe it's time I mean, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to match the text necessarily, it just needs to look good, whatever that entails. So if I just... Right. Let's just move it down for the moment. And eventually I'm going to be deleting it momentarily. Okay. No, come on. Make this the way it's supposed to be. Maybe mess with the, this here. Careful with it, though. Okay, now look at how it is here, because this is what matters. Okay. That's not changing anything. You know what, fine. Make that big for now. That doesn't matter. It's this scale. I should keep messing with it. Looks like it actually does need to move out a little bit from the side. One. Oh yeah, I can't mess with the letter scaling here. Right. Like the like distance between spaces and all that should not be a raycast target. Oh, right. Well, I can make it, like, bold and all that. Let's see what those look like. Might do bold. Makes it a little better. I think. Okay, I think we need to move this up because the Y is, like, clipping down. Make the scale a little bit lower. That works, I think. Still not sure if there's like a bit too much space between the day and the 100. Oh, right, that's a thing you can do. And I can't really change that. Something to do a colon. No. See, then it'd be like that or something. I don't know. Just stick with that. It's fine. Okay. Anyway, so this is gonna be date. Wait, can they both be on the same canvas? I think they can be because they are in line with each other. So sure, save the canvas. Like I don't need 2 world canvases here. This is clock text canvas. I'm missing a letter. And this will be day text. But now also the canvas itself is going to be wider. Oh, to fit both of them. God, it would scale like that. And this will be annoying if I continue to modify what these look like. You know, this should just be the width, like the position of this should be like the center. It's -1. What are you parented under? Oh, you're parented under that. You shouldn't even be parented under that necessarily. If you're not going to be, oh. You need to be down here then for that to work. Yeah. So just kind of be in the center, have a nice number. I guess it's zeroed out. 0 on the Y. 0 on the Y. Oh, no, you need to be pulled back, yeah. Yep. Z seems fine. Okay, then this move over. No, mess with the width so that it's like decent. No, it's just 6. Oh, and the scale is still weird. No, I want the scale to be 1, please. Oh, maybe now it'd be scaled properly. Oh, it was going off of the scaling of the wood. That's why. Oh, hey. Oh, Pophic. Hi. Oh, I'm first. I knew Twitch says getting it. That's what she said. Okay. Hi. Welcome. We're continuing this clock-related things. And I just realized why the scale of this text was being really weird. Because it was parented under an object that had a scale amount. And I didn't realize that. Okay. Things are beginning to make more sense here. Okay, so now make this even larger as a default. Yeah, so we're doing like a day thing and opening to closing time thing, and I'm making the text in Unity so that I can change it through code. Just painstakingly setting where all this stuff should be. Oops. 5. Okay, good enough. Oh wait, no. The height of you did not. It should be like that. You're coming out. No, you're not. Never mind. 5. Whatever, it's fine. Okay. The actual position stuff of the canvas doesn't matter too much. It'll just annoy me to see like really big white boxes that are like way beyond where it should be. Every time I like click on the object. Okay, so what am I messing with? I want to be messing with the no, this. Still not the right size. You were close, but this is okay. Let's keep messing with one and then the other. Actually, this is left aligned, so I should get the day part to be where it should be. And scale the rest of the text based on that. I guess. Is it? I thought it was taller before. Okay, 1, 8, 0, 0. Then the 0 is going off the board. That can't happen. But 100, like most days will be like 2 digits. Like I am for right now, the default being the 3 digits because I don't know if there will be over 100 levels, but just the safety net of just in case. So it's okay that this is like pretty much on the edge, because like the usual case will be like day 7, day 25, that kind of thing. Okay. That's good. I'm fine with that. So now let's make the other half of this text, which also, like, the longest version of this text is 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. Usually, like, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or something like that. This doesn't need to match. It just needs to be close enough. Okay. And I'll be deleting the ones underneath in a minute. They were just, like, reference as I was moving things around. Yeah! Okay. This should be right aligned. Where'd you go? Oh shit, the pivot. I'm confused. Where's the... Oh, you're there. Why? Wait, why are you that big? Oh, you shouldn't be that big. Why are you? Oh, your width and height are messed up now. Right. Should we go 1? No, 1. Is it just 1 by 1? No. Height 0.5? Height 0.5, apparently. Why? I don't know. 1 and a 0.5 does it. The width here actually would be like 2. Okay. Time text. Stop disappearing on me. Okay, do this. Thank you. Or wait, no. Trying to think of how the text should align. It should be left aligned, shouldn't it? Never mind. Well, let me, instead of undoing, got some exciting news. Oh, you do, huh? Well, lay it on me. Okay, that's fine. I guess, there we are. 0.5. Decent enough. Something like that. Should this be center, maybe? Oh, I've got someone who's helping me with ensuring my code is clean and makes sense for the future. A QA coder who's far superior to me, so I can focus on the art. Ooh, nice, nice. Building a team. All that. Very nice. Yeah. I'm gonna change this. I think I actually want this text to be center aligned. Don't mind me being indecisive. Well, no, it matters. It'll be like a small thing that will matter a little bit. Yeah, so the day text is left aligned, so the actual word day never moves. I think, yeah, but this, I'd like the sort of the dash part to be what stays the same. I think. Okay, so how does that look? I'll try giving it back the stroke underline thing. Let me delete the ones underneath. Oops. Over here. Nope. All of the wrong buttons. Yeah. Alright. Also going into play mode to kind of be like, yeah, as I'm running around, how does that look? Yeah. That's decent. Okay. Could play with like the angle of the things a bit more. Like right now I have this being the same as, like the exact same dimensions. Could play with what happens if this is like, I don't know, like that. I'll have to move the text if I choose to do that, but switch, play around with making it less uniform. Oops. It's actually not that hard to modify these. Good. Oh, that will be. Not that bad. I think, oh, that's better. Yeah, that's just less uniformity. Yeah. I don't know if the time one should be turned that much, but the idea of them just not being uniform seems interesting. Here, let me do another change. These support beams, put them on an angle too. And like more of an angle, so it's like they're kind of jutting out. Mess with this too. don't turn this as much. Just messing around with random things. No way that would look good to lean them both down, would it? I'm curious. I just want to try this. I think leaning, if they were to lean and leaning in would be better. I just want to see. I'm curious of what they look like leaning out. Oh, no, right? Hold on. Okay, maybe actually the day text would be. I don't know if it'd be better center aligned or not. Oh, it's how does that look? Oh my god, it reminds me of a Ferris wheel. And I kind of like that, it does. Huh. Because the way it's positioned now, like the two things out, yeah, it's like the stands of a Ferris wheel. Interesting. Fascinating. Could also play around with having the text be off. Could move the wood as well, but for now, let me just... Well, actually, let me do both. Let me, rough. Oh yeah, that's... No, you're... like, well, okay, whatever. This one. I move this out. I don't have to line up all the wood pieces necessarily. It would like it should be fine. Actually, let me just. Might turn up the music a bit. That I can do. There we go. Yeah, how loud it is for you is different than how loud it is for me, and I have no way of telling easily how loud it is for the stream. Hey, it just needs to be. Oh, I turned the wrong way. Turned the wrong way. 1 second. Bring them in. See what that does. Oh, not have that piece of wood shining through. This is from Sonic Adventure 2. This is White Jungle. One of the random level musics. Don't like the random bits of lyrics this has. Might delete this one from the playlist, but eh. You can barely tell that it leaned. Like that I turned them. And the day 1 to 0 is slightly off. It's balanced now. Woo. I'd more be concerned of like the other side of the thing of music's too loud, drowning out my voice. That would not be good. Interesting. I haven't been taking like screenshots of, I don't know, comparing it to like, yeah, how did it look before compared to how it looks now. Mainly the That's what I'm saying. You're still louder than music. Yeah, which is good. Yeah. Which is a good thing. The music isn't quiet. Yeah. I don't notice a difference between right now here, what this looks like before, like, what this looks like now compared to how it looked a second ago. I mean, this is very like flattened out. Like it makes sense that I don't see a difference. Oh, there. If I don't really see a difference, I'm gonna just put it back for right now. It's easier to manage. Gotta understand to give perspective of tiled inward wood. Pardon? Let me put this back how it was. Well, I was just messing around, like just seeing like, does this have the potential to look good? Yeah. one darker to the side. Wait. You should provide 2 color tones of brown, one darker to the side as being pushed back. It'll give this perspective that it's under the clock. In this case, it's not really meant to be. It's not necessarily under the clock. It's more so just 2 pieces of wood, so you can tell contrast between the colors. They could be like this one could be lighter potentially. I could do more like to make it look like actual proper wood rather than just being a solid color thing. I could give it a proper wood texture. Who knows? But for now, it's more of a low poly mock-up. I don't have time to make a big full model thing. But but are you saying that I can have like one one be one color and the other be another color? I could do that. But I think it might be better for both of these to be more symmetric. No, I understand. Yeah. Let me just try things though. See if I can stumble onto interesting ideas. Like, what does this look like if I... Oh, can I not? 1 second. This... Yeah. No, I prefer them looking the same. Let me pixel up. Let me show you. 1 second. Let me pixel up a concept. Sure, if you want to try, do. Yeah. I'm gonna be sticking with the 3D model though. I think because also, well, one, I have this here already, and also with the Unity text I've just set up now, I can modify the text through code easily. So yeah. But yeah, okay, this is looking cool. Let me get the last bit of UI that I need, because this isn't all the UI that's... There's one more important bit of UI that needs to be here, which is going to be its own file. Yeah, I think it's going to be a new Blender file. So, these guys, can you see this? Kind of, that wrench thing, that's sort of like, it's kind of like health. In a way. It's like a 3 strikes you lose kind of thing, where when rides break, then those go away. Or they get like a big X through them, something like that. So I'm gonna want... I was gonna do a cylinder, but now I'm curious to try. What if I do like a really flattened sphere with a wrench on it? Because this is a UI element, this does not need that many things. Something like that. And then wrench. I don't know how I'm going to do this wrench. I don't... Do I make it cylindrical, or because it's like a flat thing, I might just make it like a flat wrench? Here, let me try... let's start with a plane. Being incisive. Okay, let me cut out... Actually, I could just knife this into the plane. Let me try this. This might be weird, but I'm curious to see how it might look. Where are you? Knife. Actually, right, I only need to... So, I was gonna just like do... I'm not gonna do it like that. No, I changed my mind. But I am going to delete every pixel except one pixel vertex. This ain't 2D. Basically do like a... This is gonna be sideways, but I'm gonna model it straight up and then turn it. I think... Yeah. I need this like half circle thing. Why don't I use a circle? That would be the smart thing to do. And you still don't need that many dimensions. Wrong axis. I'm like, why is it not moving? Because I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Yeah, I just want to then delete these guys. Let me Google's wrenches real quick. Not going for like a full, not really. Yeah, this kind of thing is kind of what I'm doing, which isn't cylindrical. Okay, I'm just gonna put that off to the side. This, but more simplistic in design. Let me take the whole thing and move it up. Actually, one thing I'm going to do right away is actually delete half of it. Mirror it twice. Mirror, mirror. Mirror. Yes, there we go. And let's just say I extruded that out. Turn clipping on. Woo, rich. No. Well, not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Ah, well. Yeah. Strike UI is what this will be. Scale this based on this. Why are you scaling? Oh, you were scaling down. That would, yes, make sense. I can fix that dough. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Be more long and thin for starters. And actually, like, because I'm about to turn it, not like that, but because I'm going to turn it like this in a second, it's it needs to be even long. Well, actually, not really. Something like that. Okay, now this, how can I make this world better? One that out here should actually have depth. Yeah. No, wait. Oh, you're not scaling to that. No. But this should be very... Well... This ain't a good wrench. Maybe this should go in a bit. Maybe this should have had more... I should have more edges to work with. I mean, I can just add more. Here. Wait. I do this. I have loop tools. Circle. Right. That doesn't understand. How do I do wrench things? I was hoping I could just kind of eyeball it and it would just kind of look decent, but that does not appear to be being the case here. It also should be, I guess the inner one would be more in and up rather than perfectly circular. So, how thick this should be, this goes to a point, yeah. Not really a point, but kind of. Oh wait, I can do a thing, make this better. Yeah, okay, that's immediately better. Yeah, have it start with less vertices, and then I smooth it up a ton. Not delete. Yeah, just have the point that gets rounded. This needs to be, like, further out. Proportional editing, help me out here. Ah. Okay. Okay, this is actually getting somewhere. Oh, yeah, that's a wrench. That was looking terrible like a minute ago. And wow, okay, it has improved. I'm still gonna keep messing with it, because see what weird, wacky designs I get. Oh. That's weird, but I just want to see, actually, going off of that, just making the handle part not so uniform. Just seemed to look a little nice. Okay, I don't know which way. That's gonna rotate that way. It doesn't really matter. It matters a little bit. Okay, let's give things some color, shall we? The wrench will be a normal wrench kind of gray, I think. And then this will be like a green. I can shade this smooth. I want to see actually now what happens. Like, you might not be able to tell it having any sort of thickness, but I just want to see if I now were to scale this down. Maybe look, yeah, the way it kind of rounds, maybe that'll look nice. I'm not sure. Oh, you sent a thing. I'm certain you're aware. However, this just gives a quick idea. I'm trying to give the wood a shadow. Having. Oh, like, oh, I see what you're saying. Got it. Having it like gradient across if it's meant to be seen as more in the distance. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Shadows from the yeah, clock with 0 work. It's not exactly 0 work. This would take a while to actually make it have this, I think. But yeah, that's all I'm getting. I get that. Yeah. Which, I mean, right now, oh yeah, right now, yeah, I do have them kind of in line with the clock. Like I could dabble with later when I get to more texturing, but I think for now I'll leave it just uniform colored, because making a gradient texture. I'm not as familiar with texturing. I'm lacking in the texturing department. Let's make this a bit flatter because it is a UI element. No, and also more against this. Okay, I could delete the bottom side of that, but I won't for now. Okay. Even this, actually, I'm changing my mind and thinking I might do one. Let it be a perfect circle. And costing a few extra vertices, then so be it. I want to see, how does this look, how it started? Oh, it's even, like, not that bad being all low poly like this, but no, it gets the full treatment. I think I should go down to 1. Yeah, I think the difference between this and this, you will not see at the distance of, that is, from the camera. Okay, let's go. Actually, the player's going to be holding a wrench. I might be able to use this as, like, the wrench model to some degree. Like, take this and then make it fancier. Strike background. I don't want to just call it background necessarily. Actually, I'm gonna change things real quick. The name here: strike background and strike wrench. Yeah. And I can continue to play around with the colors. Now, another part of this is this. Oh, that's what I'm getting at. I'm a little jealous of your 3D skills. Huzzah! I need to start alerting that for my features. Well, I'm jealous of your 2D skills. That's what you have in that I envy. Let me flatten this maybe a little bit more. Right on top, but this won't be casting a shadow in the actual thing. I don't think I wanted to do that. This is me making up for my lack of 3D skills, because I'm sort of making like a 2D icon, but as a 3D model, and then hoping for the best. Yeah. Hey, Austin! Hi! I'm as well jealous of his Sonic skills. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, there. This to this. Apply. Alright, let's get these things, yeah, rendered in here. Materials. Ooh, that's not how I want this. Or is it? No, whatever. No, I want folders for each object. I think. I see messages. 1 second. This to ba and shaba. Oh, messages. 1 second. Trying to catch up. And coding. Huzzah! The coding wizard. Oh, the coding. I am done on the jealous department. I got a coder on my team and a music person. I got a team. I am excited. Poggin. Yeah, very, very cool. I do not currently. I mean, being in school, I'm doing some like group project stuff, but that's a bit different, I guess. But yeah, still making some cool things. Okay, let's just rough this out as. I need the UI elements to have a bit of emission because I'm not lighting. I'm not actually doing any lighting on. Well, is this having? I actually forget how this is happening. I'm not doing any like in level lighting on the UI because otherwise that would have the side effect of in low lit scenes or like well lit scenes it would change how like the tint on the UI, which I don't want that. I'd rather the UI be this consistent independent thing, unless I have any special reasons to make that not the case. But yeah. Okay, so how do I do this again? So I have clock UI here. I need to go strike UI. Still under UI camera. Oh. What? I thought okay. Oh, it's... Okay, it's not as giant as I thought. I saw this and it's like, oh, it's huge. No, it's just like on the camera. Okay, let me start by giving it the same transform as the clock UI. Paste component values. Okay, good start. It's also massive. It needs to be scaled down, but it's a start. Why is that scaling it that way? Or why? What? Wait. Oh, no, sorry, this makes sense. No, I mean, yeah, no, I was like, wait, something's not right here. But no, this makes perfect sense of what's happening. I am actually just gonna, on this side of things, scale things down a ton. I can scale it in Unity, but I'm gonna do actually a bit of both. Oh! That's interesting. Unintended, but interesting. This, I just need to scale only... Apply the scales, don't apply the rotations. Yes. Yes! Okay, now that's actually too small. That's way too small. Okay, S2. And apply scales. Good enough. I might give it actually a black, like, background of some kind. So, but I'll position this for now as a default. Oh, you're, I want you to have, like, the same... What's your problem? Oh, this is, okay, sorry, the things here work differently than I was thinking there. Never mind. Yeah, okay. That's all good. Okay. I don't know where this should be. But somewhere, it's going to be under here. This was the initial idea. We could mess around with, maybe it would be in a different corner of the screen. But this is related. Like, these UI elements are related, so I'm putting them in the same corner of the screen. But as just, this is kind of like the test kind of a thing. Oh, no, these need to be equidistant. Hold on. No, wait, hold on. Let's do that for now. And then all of these give it the hover script. Hover. I don't remember what values need. Whatever the same values that the camera, or that the clock has. With different offsets. Get ready for this coolness. Let's try this. I don't remember how different this offset needs to be, but Shazam! Okay, could be better, but good start. Oh no, it is being affected by lighting. Wait, that's not supposed to happen. Oh, that's why it's brighter than it actually is. Hold on. Everything under this needs to have the label UI. Now you're dim. Okay, that was what I expect to happen. That looks awesome. Yeah, woo. Again, I might do something to like give it like a black border, so that it ideally works in any color scenario. Like right now, actually, this is a perfect example of it. It happens to be up against a green. That's just might make it more glowy, maybe even more so. I don't know, maybe a yellow wrench. Just mess with the different colored wrenches real quick. Maybe like more like gray, but with like a little bit of a blue tinge. This metallic slider, I don't actually want that to be up because, so it's like, oh yeah, it's metallic, so put up this metallic slider. But that doesn't work. It's not like, metallic affects how much it'll like reflect stuff in the environment, which I don't want it to reflect anything because I want it to, be sort of completely independent from the background. Okay, this is way too, it's way too not what I want. No. What doth I do for colors? that. Okay, okay. And a little bit. Even like the white here, like that doesn't. I have an idea to give it a border in a second. Just you wait. Okay, and then with a yeah. Still no dark theme, haha. Gainer, no dark theme for moi. But yeah, this is coming along good. I don't know if I want to spread them out a bit more. We'll see. But either way, I want to do one more thing on here. These borders, I speak of. Just take the thing, duplicate it, squish it, give it a new material. Strike, outline. I might do 2 outlines. I can outline on the wrench and an outline on the background, but first I just want to try a general outline on just everything. That's not like, that's way too thick for an outline, but I'm just now curious of what this might look like. A lot of this is just trying random stuff and being like, oh, that looks interesting, or oh no, that looks so much worse. Well, let me set up the border material here anyway. I was gonna have to do that regardless. This. Every time I add a new object, just the way that this is, I have to do certain changes. Oops, not that. See, now the UI elements are casting shadows. They're not supposed to do that. Yeah, anyways. And they're being affected by, like, the in-game, like, the scene's lighting, which they're not supposed to be. Oh, wait, I need to set these to not cast shadows on each other. 1 second. That's gonna be... these guys... It's those? Yeah. This for now. Uncheck you. Uncheck you. Yeah. I don't want to waste any, like, too much resources on lighting UI elements. For this, I think I want to purposely keep it a bit more simplistic. For performance reasons. 1.2k chroma points. Woo! 99.8 thousand to go. Just you wait. 98.8, my math skills aren't it. Yeah, get me to play a horror game eventually. One day. Okay. No, it's being like a... No. 1.1. Could also mess with a different shape. Doesn't have to be a circle. I just thought like a... Yeah, like basically a wrench on a circle. Was an idea. Okay, let me make the wrench have a... Oh, that's not gonna work. But it will in a second. The beauty of this shrink or flatten tool. Oh, I scaled this down, right? Yes. I was like, wait, why did it... yeah, okay. It didn't do what I thought it would do, but... Okay, it's fine. Yeah, there we go. The outline could be different colors, maybe, but... I think that's actually also what I want. Yeah, it needs to be more subdivisions, I guess. Let me see how that's looking. Wait. 1 second. That's not it. Oh, the outline thinks its normals are inverted. And but the wrench, even though we haven't noticed it until now, is probably also okay. Let me just make sure all the normals are how they should be. Let's try this now. Think about black outline fits really well. It looks really cool. Yeah, I think it does. Ooh. The color seems to change. Oh, of course. Okay. So the colors were being weird on the wrench before because the normals were inverted. Okay, that's makes sense, I guess. Interesting. Yeah, okay. This is cool. Now, here's another thing I just noticed. I don't think we want this, but I just noticed we have the capabilities of doing this. By putting this underneath, sort of, it's like playing with the layers. It's like layers in Photoshop now. Okay. Didn't do quite what I was wanting. Like, they're further apart, but having the border go around just the edges of the thing. But I don't think I want to do this. I just wanted to experiment with what it would look like. But hold on, I can make that. Just make the distances closer together. Kind of. I still think that, wait, no. Do I like this better? Is it... Which do you, with some slight modifications, which do you think is better? Outline just going around the edges of the whole thing like this, or also having the border go through the whole, the wrench? You can also mess with the border color. Is the GUI going to be pressed down to images with 2D renderings on top? So I've actually experimented with doing that in the past, where I have rendered images into Blender, like Blender models, render them into images, put them on here. But currently they're just 3D models, and I think they look nice as 3D models. So I might keep them as 3D models, frankly, because then I could mess around with them where like the UI elements maybe like they slightly turn or something. Was something we could mess with. I do know there's some bigger games that do 3D UI, that's done 3D UI stuff and can pull it off well. So hopefully I can do the same. I also suck at drawing, so yeah. I think the wrench having its outline looks really cool. I guess you should definitely keep it 3D. Yeah, I think it's a cool style thing. Also, reminder that this is a big circusy game, so that's why the clock itself is weird colors to fit with this like carnival thing. Let me just also mess with the sizes of these. Yeah. I'm a frames per second junkie. Oh, in terms of Well, I mean, one thing I'm doing is that I do like I'm trying to mitigate like lighting calculation stuff on all this, like on the UI elements. Instead, they just have some emissive materials, which just so the lighting calculations going into those 3D models isn't that bad, and they also don't have a lot of vertices. It's not like that bad. They also aren't even textured right now. They're just all like solid colors, which could stay being the case. So yeah. Oh, also in terms of the 3D-ness, another thing that it being 3D allowed me to do, if I go full screen, how the numbers turn. Look at that spinning. That spinning is great, and that's because it's a 3D thing that turns, and that would be a lot harder to pull off in 2D, or doing it like a frame-by-frame animation thing. Oh my god, but like the icon there, the strikes icon, that looks like a 3D, or that looks like a 2D little sprite thing. Wow, that's awesome. Very cool. I might move them out, like spread them out a little bit more, but and also make it so that they're not, if they're hovering, I might mess with their like hover amounts. I was just like throwing in values randomly, but make it so that even at their highest and the clock at its lowest, that they don't intersect. I do like them all going a bit differently. It'd be nice actually if they were more uniform. Like if I mess with the values, I could have it be more like this, you know, on the 3, which I might try to do rather than being like how they currently are. I can also make them actually go at different speeds slightly, so they end up going more out of sync, but mess with it. Different things we can mess with. Should it be on the bottom of the screen because the thingy's on the bottom? Do you think the strike should be on the bottom? I could. I don't know. So, what I was, like with the mini, I could go with the mini map. I thought that the strikes were more related to the clock, kind of, but, well, no, I guess the strikes are more related to the mini map, because the mini map has the ride health bar things. Okay, I can justify that, yeah. Okay, let's do that. How hard is this going to be to move? Oh, for the record, also, I should mention that this mini-map is also maybe temporary. Like, right now, it's a camera in the sky just rendering down. Like, I might mess with this more. I probably will mess around with the actual mini-map itself more later. This was a works good enough for now, and, like, I don't have to draw up a mini-map. Also, for our game, it's more important. Like, it is important that you can see the whole mini-map, like, rather than doing how most games have, like, the circle and like you're in the middle and you can like it like moves around. With this game, I think it's important that you can see the whole mini map. Like you can see these circles like everywhere. So that's a conscious design choice. Also, it was way easier for the record. Like this was stupid. Actually, I should point that way. That was stupidly easy compared to the circle thing. Doing that kind of masking would be significantly harder. Also, I think that the actual mini map, the more like right now, it has a cool like differently shaped. Like, it's not uniformly shaped edges, but actual levels, I don't think I'll be able to easily get around that. Like, I think it will be clear-cut square or rectangle or whatever. But, so then I can give it more of a proper border rather than the way it just kind of is right now. But it's all, yeah, works in progress. For the record, the arrow that is where the player is, that is actually a 2D image. That's a sprite. But to be honest, I think top left fits it better in my opinion. Maybe the whole top left thingy down is like sitting on something, so it makes sense to be closer to the bottom. I like the hover, so I don't like want it to necessarily be like it's resting on something because it wouldn't be moving. I like the little bit of a hover. I think it looks nice. I have the mini map hovering a little bit too. Yeah, I can mess around with it. Like the stripes could also go in their own corner. That's also a potential option. Although it feels a bit weird to like use up only 3 corners of the screen. If I can maybe justify actually using all 4 corners, then there's one thing in each corner. Then maybe. Yeah, but like hovering above the bottom, I could do that. What if I? Okay, how about going off of that idea? What if the strikes are above, and then the whole camera's on the bottom? Let me. How can I easily do this? I need to look at both at the same time. Oh no, wait. How do I modify this nicely? Hold on. Oh no, I'm going to mess with the angles and all that. Oh no. Hold on. I can see if I. Hold on. I should swap these. I could switch to a different like layout. I'm aware of that, but I'm not. Oh wait, this isn't doing what I want. See, hold on. 1 second. This pit center. No, that's what I want. Yeah, this is tricky to like. Yeah, get what will hopefully will be good at this angle. Yeah, ordered like that, potentially. Let's see how if this is like that. Yeah, because actually then the 2 UI things are like they're both on the bottom, both on the top. That is nice, I guess. Maybe I'd move the strikes just a little bit higher. Oh, the middle wrench is perfectly in line with the clock. That shouldn't happen. It's slanted too much, is it? Yeah, I can see that. Let's modify this. Well, if it's too far down, then it'll like as it hovers up and down. Oh, that's like. These should be a little bit higher anyways. Maybe over more. No, oh, that looks no. They need to be like in line. I'm not sure. Because now for the wrenches to be on top, I feel like the wrenches now come out too much. Maybe. So here's another idea. Here's another pitch. Is just that another bit of UI I was considering having is so there's going to be power-ups in this game, and if you have a power-up currently active, having that in a corner of some kind of a timer. And because the power-ups are going to be balloons, it'd be like a balloon-looking AI with maybe like a timer going around of how long you have for that power-up. If I do that and then the wrench is in another corner, then I'm using up all 4 corners, maybe. I'm not sure. Like, on the same plane as the other UI elements is what I'm intuitively liking. Pardon? On the same plane as the other UI elements. Do you mean... like, just having it be perfectly head-on like this? Oops. Not like that. Like this being better? And then... fully straight up, I guess. Like that. Oops. I don't know. I'm not sure. Again, also remember that the clock will be spinning significantly slower in the actual game. It's just spinning really fast right now, so I can see it doing the turning. Could mess with like other parts now if I were to do this, like I don't know. Like maybe remove the stand, like UI shouldn't appear to be in the same environment as the map. What? Do the wrenches represent the player's lives? It's more like how close you are to failing. Sorry, let me, what Gainer said. So like remove the stand, the UI shouldn't appear to be in the same environment as the map. I mean, does it seem like it's in the same environment as the map? I don't think it is how it currently is. I mean, it looks vaguely like a Ferris wheel, which I think is kind of funny because it fits the circus aesthetic. But what the wrenches actually are, they're like a 3 strikes you're out kind of thing. So the gameplay is, if I go out and back into play mode, we're still working on the logic that makes this happen. But see how rides are breaking? Well, yeah, obviously these are rides, very obvious. But you have to ride around and fix rides before they break. But there'll be more of a system like, one's over here, one's breaking over here, one's breaking over here. Riding around the park a bunch, and then it's like 3D with the stands, which makes the perspective appear weird. I mean, I purposely was looking at making it more 3D. I think, yeah, these don't mesh with these. Like, this looks perfectly flat. This looks like it has some depth. So it's either, I think, both or not. I'm going to move back to the top for now, and I want to experiment with something else. I think I personally liked it more on the top, at least with the clock. Because even with how I'm looking around the screen at, like, what time it is, I don't know, I'm able to, like, more see a lot of what's going on in my peripheral looking at the top rather than the bottom. I don't know, see, kind of. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like the clock being in the top. But with the wrenches, versus the minimap, which is entirely separate. Minimap is still a work in progress, I think. So we will be playing around with that. I wanted to experiment with giving the minimap, like, if the minimap showed a little bit of depth, could be kind of cool. But I was gonna make this all more 3D-ified just a little bit. See what that can do. Nope, don't want to scale the border apart. Just want to see. Oh, you're not properly. Hold on. Origin to geometry. No, other way. No. Wait, that's not gonna work. I just need to go in here and do this, and then a little bit of that. Yeah, probably. Fine. Okay. Also, actually, the border part can maybe a little bit better. We continue to mess around with things. And first of all, yeah, I mean, the border just not. Oh, wrong button. I was like, why is that doing that? That's not what I would think would be happening. Yeah, no. Yeah, hold on. Could also mess with, like, what it looks like. But my idea, yeah, so it's like, when a ride breaks, you lose a wrench. Either it disappears, or, like, a big red X goes through it. I was thinking, yeah, big red X, it's like, yeah, it's how many you've lost. And if all 3 break, or, like, if 3 rides break, then you lose, you die, whatever. Okay. So right now, like, even though it's a sphere, it looks, because it's not, because it's all smooth, it looks like a cylinder, or like a circle. It looks like a flat circle. Can I somehow actually make the, without the use of textures, because I could do stuff with textures. Hold on, I'm going to do that. I have something to try. That's, just, yeah, all what we're doing is just trying things. Oh, actually, I make this 2 colors. And mess around with how I apply them. You need to do the wait. How do you, I didn't know I could do that. Huh. Yeah, anyways, just have the same material in there, like, twice. Let's make this like a blue just for something different. If I did this as a first test, I was going to go down the side. I just want to see what this looks like. If I can hit the right button. Interesting. Oh wait, let me. I need to do a thing that makes it brighter. Properly do things. But I wanted to mess with them going down the sides. Not that. Over here, this. I need to extract the material. Let's do that. This. Mess with it. Make it brighter. 1 second. Not just that. I just wanna. I'll try the other way that I was going to initially do, which was doing every other thing down like this. That's not every other. Yeah, there. Just want to experiment. And all of these. Maybe not on the inner ones? I don't know, we'll see. If I take this and do this. Looks like reminds me of like a beach ball thing now. Interesting. With different colors, like maybe not a wild blue, but instead like green, but like less. Interesting. That's like a watermelon now. What about black? Interesting. Maybe not green, but like it tints towards another color, but something that's more, yeah, closer to green. Interesting. I think this might work well if I did a similar thing to the wrench to make the wrench look less flat. It's an interesting idea. Also, maybe not that. Hold on, let me try another thing. Another thing, which is just maybe the loop around. I do no color. No. Okay, what about instead all... Well, that wouldn't make a difference, but if I did all the second color, it's gonna... I don't know if that's gonna change things much. Maybe. Like I don't know, like yellow or something. Red. I have to be changing both of these colors for things good. Actually, not really. That depends on how glowy I want it. What about like unicycles? Oh, Make like a skull and crossbone thing, but like out of wrench and unicycle. I could grab the unicycle model and put it there. Would that be too much though? Because you'd have like the pedals and stuff. Maybe pure white unicycles on pure white unicycles on a pure black background? Huh. So like negative space or something? Interesting. How would that work? I'm trying to think of like the logistics of trying to make that. Here. Well, I mean, if I do something stupid for one moment, literally copy the unicycle. Oh, the player's under the unicycle, right? Yeah. Let me just like, Nope. Nope. This. Well, actually, I don't know where I'm going with this, but silhouette. That would be going also back towards like the being very flat idea, which could work. But then it's almost like you're breaking unicycles. I like it being a wrench because the wrench is used to fix things, and you losing them is you are failing to fix things. Where the unicycle is more like the player, for like a health kind of a thing. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like it being if the thing was a unicycle. Here, let me go back to like this or something. Let's see this. I can do something to make the wrench look more. I don't know what I would do to it. What about making this a slightly different color? That's not what I wanted. This I can't imagine looking good, but I just want to see. Well, not like that. I was just gonna go for a black, or like a dark gray. No, that's no. Well, it's worth a shot. What about... Oh, that may be it. If I did something like... Nah. Not that. Well, I mean, if I, like, did that, that's not what I... but just, like, having a different color, which I meant to make, like, a more of a gray as well. Oops, now... all the wrong buttons. Why are you moving so weirdly? Oh, because you're sideways. Local. No, I'm going to easily... What's this up? If I did something like this, but having it be striped, but not like that. Let's make it an actual stripe color. Thought it would like add to it, but maybe stripes aren't the way to go here. Also, are you adding a player on top? I will eventually. Yeah, 100%. An actual humanoid person. That's just placeholder art right now. Might get better. It might be better with just the unicycle, so the camera would be similar to the one in Rocket League. I would like it to be an actual person, not just like a disembodied unicycle, because this game's gonna have, well, in theory, I would like it to have like story and stuff. And I mean, the far off like overscoping idea would be to have like cutscenes and boss fights and all that. But so to recap on where I'm actually going with this is a school project that I have to finish in, yeah, like a week and 2 days. I have to finish a demo of this game, which is just like a playable, some kind of playable like test level thing that has all the functionality, kind of. It doesn't need to be super pretty necessarily, although definitely that helps, it adds to the experience or whatever. This is more so like a programming class. I just happen to have some 3D modeling skills. So yeah, but then after that, I kind of want to keep working on this game on my own, just because I can, and I might eventually, yeah, want to finish it into a full proper game. But for this school thing, I need to finish a demo of it soonish, and I don't have all of, so I said like a week and 2 days. Not all that time's gonna be spent working on this. I have other stuff I need to get done as well. But yeah, okay, let me just try going back on. I might go back to that being just a circle, and maybe put it in its own corner for now, because I don't think, yeah, look, I'm trying to like make this look less flat, but there's no easy way I can do that without having like proper lighting or textures or whatever. So I'm gonna not do that. Instead, put it in its own corner so it looks more separated. Maybe I could actually put it with the mini-map. It might actually be better. Okay, right. The mini-map is done differently through different different means. Here, let me. No, I need to mess with this weirdly. Okay. Indeed. Okay. Let's see if I can do things. Oh, that's interesting that from an angle, you can more so see the depth. Oh! Huh. That's interesting to have them not be so linear. This is not turning the ways I'm trying to turn it. Yeah. For right now, just get to be like that. Oh, I'm not turning away. Interesting. Also, it doesn't have to be a perfect like circle or whatever. There's a million things I can change, but I'm kind of getting to the point where I should maybe move on. Like, be like, it's good enough for now. Move on to getting the functionality there. I can return how it looks later. Especially because like the mini map, I'm probably going to be redoing significantly. So, like if I could, I think I could potentially combine the mini map and the strikes into one UI thing. Like, have it be like where this is the mini map, and down here are the strikes, but it's like in one bordered thing, maybe. So I could try to do something like that because they are related, sort of. But for now, I was gonna put it with the mini map, but for now the temporary thing is they're gonna go in their own corner. And eventually I might put like a fourth element in. Like when I do the power-ups, they might get a UI. I'm not sure on that yet. Because, yeah, it's kind of like health, but not really. Sort of. Let's do something like that. And the amount that they are whooshing. Let me get them to be like this if I can. Which one's which? This one's the center one. This one's the left one, so strike UI. Oops. I'm gonna go first. Wait, when you lose strikes, what's the order that you lose them? Just go left to right or right to left. I think that'll depend on what side of the screen it's on. But let's say here it's gonna go right to left. Yeah, usually health bars go right to left. Yeah. So actually, this is gonna be the first. This is third. I was debating at one point only having 2 things up there because it's a 3 strikes rule. It's like when you lose the last one, then the level is over. But okay, wait, is this first, second, third? Yeah. This nice is better. I made a concept of how the UI could look. Did you? The UI I made isn't a fully accurate because I just want a quick shape, so it shows an idea. I will check that out. I'm seeing this over here on Discord. Oh! Hold on, 1 second. Interesting. I see. This being the clock, I get that. And then having I like this. That is neat. And then having it, at the top. The mini map, and then these at the bottom. Huh. It does seem quite cool. Wouldn't that be fun to have the... I mean, I have to... So... Oh, interesting. So what I could do with these things jutting out the bottom is instead have clock in the middle as it is. Maybe make it look more flat. If I have it in the middle, I'll remove like the depth of it probably. And then wrench, hammer, screwdriver, random order. Wait, sorry, that demon. Wrench, hammer, screwdriver, random order. They all have some sort of influence over stuff, like of what these are. How you fix rides isn't something that varies. I don't think it's more like it's a wrench because the animation. I'm going to be not lazy, but like the player model will have a wrench in hand, and when you fix rides, it's just banging the wrench against the ride, and then until it like fixes itself. And that's my idea for how to do that simply enough. So that's why then there'll be a wrench at the top with the UI thing. I don't think I'm going to have him pull out different handyman accessories. But maybe later on. I do have the idea. So like right now, because of not overscoping and finishing this demo, the fixing rides is just hold a button and it fixes. So more of the gameplay is on the traversal. Like gameplay, the fun of the gameplay, the what I'm wanting to focus on is the actual traversal, the dodging hazards as you get from point A to point B. That's the core gameplay loop. The fixing the rides is like a means of saying run over here, now run over there, now run over there. What I might try to do later on is making the actual fixing rides like much little mini games or something like that, like Among Us, actually exactly like Among Us. And then in that case, I could do more handyman-y things. But for now, for the sake of actually being able to finish this on time, we're leaving it as is. We're fixing the rides, just holding a button, and more. I'm focusing on the traversal. But yeah, you could have power-ups. There is going to be power-ups. I can mention that in a second. In the shape of hammers and stuff, that'd be cool. Yeah, perhaps. True was thinking of some power-ups could be amplified by having some tool. Interesting. So currently my idea for the power-ups was that they'd be balloons to fit with the Carvel theme of, there's a few like balloons just scattered about. And when you pop a balloon, you'll get a power-up where there's going to be potentially 3 power-ups. One that makes you have double speed, which will make your like unicycle, like one that looks like a unicycle, makes you, like, what I'm trying to say. a balloon with a unicycle icon on it. You pop it, you get double speed. Or maybe you'll have like a shoe icon. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Or then like the unicycle itself will go all golden or sparkly or something to indicate that you have the power up. Then invincibility power up to not take damage from hazards and all that stuff. Where then the actual player will be all gold and glowy or whatever. And then fixing rides twice as fast. So then the wrench you're holding goes all gold and glowy or whatever. So if you were to have all three active at once, then every part of you would be all glowy. So that's what I had as idea currently. And then there's another thing where somewhere in the level there's a hidden balloon cart, a golden balloon cart, somewhere hidden in the level. And then... Oh yeah, I forgot I was going to do this. If you repair it, then if you find it and repair it, then power-ups last like twice as long or something like that for the rest of the day. But also, you can't just fix it right away to add more challenge and interesting things. Halfway through the day, or like 25% through the day, some percentage that's either a constant or a random thing. Some percentage through the day, a golden wrench will spawn somewhere in the level. If you grab it, you have to get the wrench to the... Or maybe it could be like a helium tank, now that I think about it. I don't know. Anyways, some item that you have to... Oh, stay hydrated? I see that. Haha. Yeah. What was I just saying? You have to bring golden wrench to the golden balloon cart without getting hit. If you get hit, you drop it and you have to go back to where you picked it up. Basically, I'm trying to say an excuse to have like a slight difficulty spike where it's like, for this brief moment in time, get from here to here without getting hit. As it almost like an optional bit of, if you do it, you're rewarded with having better power-ups for the rest of the day. But it's like optional, kind of. I didn't explain that very well. I literally have this in writing over... Here. As for collectibles, in each level there will be a golden balloon cart hidden in a fixed place. This balloon cart will require the golden wrench that has also been hidden around the map to fix it. However, the golden wrench does not exist right away. At a random point between 25% to 50% of the way through the day, the golden wrench will spawn somewhere in the level, accompanied by a small message and jingle on screen. This item must be brought back to the balloon cart without being hit. If the player gets hit, they will drop the item and it will respawn where it started. Upon fixing the golden balloon cart, the player will be rewarded with all balloon power-ups lasting twice as long for the rest of the day. This has strategy, as players will have to decide whether or not the time spent looking for and repairing the cart is worth the benefit. Making the wrench only appear partway through the day also forces the player to not be able to do this right away when they have nothing to fix yet, and will hopefully be right in the middle of the chaos. This will be repeatable per level, but finding... this I don't know if this will actually happen. This was more just like pretending I'm having more functionality than, like, that's not going to exist in this demo. I don't know what will actually happen if you get all of them. Maybe some kind of special bonus. Blah, yeah, that's the explanation there of a thing I wanted to do. Well, eventually do, but I gotta even do power-ups first. I just got the idea, though, that the thing that you have to bring over should be like a helium tank, because it fits the balloon theme. And the balloon theme is like, I don't know why I picked that, but that's just for power-ups. There's little balloons that are like floating around. I don't know how often they will exist, but we'll see. That's going to be part of the balancing thing that we have to figure out. But yeah, oh, teeth. I don't like that. Yeah. So that's the idea, anyway, behind those power-ups, which I don't know if I want to actually represent that somewhere on screen, like a little like balloon thing. My concern with that I haven't come up with how to properly show this is, how do I deal with stacking power-ups? I want you to be able to, if you have the speed power-up and you grab the invincibility power-up, they stack. Like, one keeps going until it runs out, and then now you have the other one. So how do I represent that on screen? If I just have, like, the sort of, what is your current active power-up thing? Oh, wait, I'm getting an idea. Okay, what if... So what if we have like a balloon-looking icon that it's not there unless you have a power-up. Once you get a power-up, it sort of floats up on screen. But it's balloon-looking icon with whatever one is active, and something like that's like going around the side, like a bar that's kind of running out, like kind of like the circular clock thing that we have going on here. And then if you get another one, if you get another power-up, it just pops up behind it, but like slightly offset. And then once this runs out, then it's like when the power up runs out, then the balloon UI could pop, and that could be a cool looking animation thing where it like pops. And then the other one's still there. That could be a cool thing. Hey, Reptilian Goddess! Hi! Hello. Maybe your power-up on screen is just the balloon tied to your character. I want to explode the balloons. I want them to pop. I think I could do that. I could have something with, like, maybe some kind of, like, level obstacle where you get balloons tied to yourself and then you, like, fall slower. Huh. That's an idea. That's interesting. Or maybe it'd be like a big balloon. Something that looks different from the power-up balloons. There's an idea, but also hello. Yeah, we're making UI things and all of that. Oh, I didn't finish. I was going to time the wrenches. They're fine as they are right now, but I want to... how do I do this? Wait, they go based on pi. Pi or no? What? Or wait, can I... I can't type pi directly. If I went, so the first one having an offset of 0, no, wait, distance 0.5. Let me just mess with something real quick with the, the how they do 0.9, so they go a little bit slower than the clock, just so they are more so offset in speed. You can be 0, you can be, how much would be a full... Is 0.9? Is this how this works? If I remember how I programmed this, I could look in the code of this. Is this how this works? Is it? It's not, they're not actually as offset as I wanted them to be. 0, maybe this is not how this works. Let me go 2 and 4? I don't know. Oh, it's behind my head. Oh, sorry, you guys can't even see this. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Right. My bad. Okay. Yeah. Oh no, is that gonna be a problem from here on out? Is that I'm gonna be, every time I go into play, I'm gonna be blocking this UI? Do I need to purposely leave that side of the screen blocked for the sole purpose of making the live streams easier? No. Yeah, alright, does that look decent? I guess. Might have it then be higher up slightly, be more tucked in the corner. Oops. But not too much. If I put them right in the corner like they, oh, right, the way that they're turned is still a little weird. Hold on. Just turn it like that, just a tiny bit. Huh. Okay. And then maybe I do want them to go more. Hold on. Let me just try. Not that. Have them hover more. Let's just see what that does. Shall we? Hey! Oh! Journey for the Crown! Raiding with a party of 8. Hi! Hello! Let me, yeah, show you all what we got going on here. Oh, that's way too much. Hold on. Wait, let me just mess with a thing. At that point, that's 0.01? Hello. We're making a game. The Handyman with a Unicycle. We're currently working on, well, a bunch of different things. Hey there. Hi. Hello. So we got this Unicycle movement that's looking pretty nice. I'm quite happy with how it is. We got things like speed boosts. We got tight ropes that I took way too long to make. Like, this took a while, but it looks very cool, so it was worth it. You have to actually, like, balance on them and all that. The player model here will eventually have a person. That's a whole placeholder, but yeah, a lot of procedural animation going into making this do. Well, nice. Yeah, it looks great. Woo. Thank you. 9 consecutive voice cracks for 9x viewers. Yep, that's how it be. We got a thing where you can, take damage and go all blinky with a few invulnerability frames. We got a mini map down there. That's currently just a camera in the sky rendering down. Might do more with that eventually, but we do have like a player little triangle thing. We got this clock over that way. That is spinning way faster than it actually will be, but you can see with it spinning a lot faster what it's currently looking like, where it's ka-chunking as it gets to like the different values, which is pretty cool. Having a day counter and what hours you need to last of like opening time to closing time for this carnival of here. On the other side of the screen, we got these little wrenches here that we actually just made. Also, I'm trying to just quickly recap everything that the game is while I have an influx of viewers while it lasts. You'll notice that when I went to play mode, all these cylinders here that are rides, they're circus rides, also as placeholders, started breaking. That's what that's meant to be. The Handyman with the Unicycle. You are riding around a carnival, having to fix rides before they break, but having tons of obstacles and all that in between. It will not be like this, where they're just kind of like there. Like, in between any two rides, there will be a bunch of obstacles. That's the idea. Most of the gameplay is just weaving around different obstacles and hazards. That's the main core gameplay. But the objective is to fix all these rides before they break. There's a 3 strikes rule. That's what those wrenches are. When if 3 rides break, you lose. Yeah, that's the thing there. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on here currently. And there's gonna be power-ups eventually as well. A lot of ideas. We'll see how much they translate into what we end up actually making here. But yeah, I'm quite happy with how it's turning out so far. Oh, also verticality can exist. Yeah, so that's that. Maybe just remove the background from the wrenches. I could do that. The movement on your bike is incredibly smooth. Yeah, it is. It's very, very cool. 3 rides breaks and you're fired. Exactly. Actually, more so, you get a lawsuit. But yeah, I can see how this looks without the background. Even just actually, wait, that's not actually gonna remove it. Move it like out of the way for right now. Yeah, we're dabbling, experimenting things. So that's how it looks like if it was just pure black. Move that out of the way as well. And here's what it looks like if it was just the wrenches. And obviously, okay, well, these are just like moved off to the side right now. Could just be wrenches. I don't know. I kind of like it better with the background, but that's just me. And it's stuff we can continue to change more later on. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it seems more detailed with that. Add a glow? Oh, it couldn't have a glow. How would I add a glow? I don't think I can add a glow very easily, unfortunately. Yeah, because currently the way I have this being lighted is weird. I could do some post-processing stuff, maybe. Oh, on the UI camera, I could... That's something I can dabble with later. Emissions or light. Technically, they do have some emission. But it's, yeah, weird in how it's... Oh, okay, it has some emission, so that these don't actually have to be lit, because they're being sort of universally lit. Kind of like ambient lighting. But, yeah, I didn't want any lighting from the actual level to apply to these. But, yeah. Background is a transparent but reflective material, and the back of the watch is a light. I think, if I remember correctly, I had problems with making, like, currently how this is implemented. Trying to make these transparent was weird. Oh, maybe not. Was it the clock? Something with the clock. I swear I just remember... wait. Excuse me? Why did you break? Let me... yeah, see here. Oh, yeah. Was this... Hold on. Take all these low... I believe I remember there being problems with trying to make these transparent, and I'm trying to remember what those were. I guess these are actually fine. I remember the clock having weird issues with just how many objects there are, but I don't know. Whatever. Something I could dabble with. Yeah, post-processing would work, you're right. Yeah, that should add like a glow thing, especially because there's sort of a different camera that's doing the UI compared to everything else. So a lot of stuff there I can dabble with. But yeah, this could be transparent. I kind of overdid the transparency. But yeah, this is stuff we could dabble with. I do want to see one thing, though, is that I believe I tried making... I want to remember exactly what was the problem. Right. I don't know why. I don't know why Unity being weird and broken, but this weirdness is something that was happening as a result of trying to make some things transparent. So I can't make the clock transparent, no, at least not without doing some more complicated things. But I'd rather, I guess, have the UI elements be consistent, where they all have this bit of transparency, or they don't, maybe. But again, things we could dabble with. I think it's looking good enough for now. I would like to move on to the functionality of it, because it is something I have to get a move on with. Because also, people just tuning in, I have a week and 2 days to get done a demo of this game that, like, another person that isn't me can play. That isn't just this tech demo of just stuff scattered around. I want to turn this tech demo into an actual game by getting in, like, the win and failing conditions. So I think I'm happy with how this looks for now. Let's move on to more programming stuff, because also I've been doing a lot of 3D modeling so far, and I would like to get back to programming stuff. I'm a programmer at heart. Yeah. That is my bread and butter. Oh, by the way, while I have an influx of viewers, it's the thing I do every single time. Wait, where is it? Over here. Bam. Oh, bam. Shazam. I spoke too soon because it's taking longer to open. Bam, this is the thing that I made. Animated me in a lab coat. Woo, this took 3 months to make. Also, this is part of like a few second animation. So the animating is part of that 3 months. Yeah, so that's a cool thing. And also, over... Bam. Cool thing, this is in Unity. The me was in Blender. This is in Unity. So that's cool. Submarine stuff. The trick with this is that every material here, other than the sand, has a slight bit of emission, which makes things look a lot more glowy. Kind of reminds me of like glow-in-the-dark golfing. Like glow-in-the-dark mini golf. Like those kind of things is what this makes me think of. But yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. Those are easily the coolest graphical things I've made in just 3D modeling. But I've also made a lot of cool programming related things, but those are harder to show in a quick screenshot. But I mean, I'd say actually here, like this unicycle movement is it's definitely one of the coolest character things that I've made. Yeah, very, very, very cool. It shouldn't work. The way, like, the programming behind it is nuts, and like it shouldn't work the way that it does, but it does. And it's great. And I didn't think it would work. I tried an idea that I'm like, this will probably be really complicated. And it was really complicated, but I thought it'd be like astronomically more complicated than how complicated it ended up being. But yeah. Did you ever finish your part for that VR group project? That is actually still a work in progress. That is going to be another thing I'm working on over this week, I think. So yeah, also to everyone else. Yeah, I'm making a VR game as well for another group project for a school thing. That has to be done by sometime in April, so not too far away, but far enough. Yeah, that's still coming along well. So that one's a group project. So like this thing I'm doing on my own, that thing being a group project, different people making different things. That we've done a lot of different parts on our own that we're now starting to like combine all together. So in the next like week or two, we should really be seeing that game, like, amount of progress will snowball, I think. And we will be seeing some of that on stream, I think. Me showing my parts of, like, the things where that's going. I do have Oculus Rift here, so we'll, yeah, be dabbling in that. And that should hopefully be really cool. And just you wait, we'll see until we make the VR port of this game. All right, let me move me back to this side. If I don't do it now, I'll forget. Oh, also, music stopped. How long has that been the case? I have a random playlist of 604 random musics from different video games. So, like different, like old games, usually, or most of them. So, yeah. Anyways, avoiding copyright and just having something that's not silence. I didn't realize, though, that it wasn't playing for the last, I don't know how long. Oh, well. And right now, this is from Sonic Adventure. It's the Egg Carrier the hub music. Why? Just because. I tried to make the list as like, large as I could. Anyways. Yeah, oh, well, I'll let you get to it. I've got to take a break and put my feet up. Fair enough. Have a great stream. Thank you. And, yeah, again, thank you very much for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. I haven't been streaming for that long. I've been streaming since September. So, like, it's crazy how how this is absolutely nuts. Absolutely crazy. Hey! And it just got even crazier. Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you, Journey for the Crown. I really appreciate that. Hopefully I can return the favor and raid you back someday. But yeah. Yeah. Anyways, back to all this. So, also, yeah, every time I pan this down, this is something with the Unity terrain thing where sometimes it doesn't... It's collision with how I'm doing the camera stuff is a little weird. But I'm not going to be using Unity's terrain system with my actual levels. I don't like... There's certain things with Unity's terrain system that I don't like. Like this like jagged edgeness that it's doing. Oh, right. I don't want that. So we're going to be making our levels probably mostly in Blender, if I had to guess. But we shall see. I'm planning for the demo to be like a pier. Oh, by the way, another thing I didn't explain is that with the carnival, it's like business strategies that every day it opens up in a random, like, new location. So for the levels, it can be like, now we're on a pier, now we're on the side of a mountain, now we're in a volcano. Have fun with that. So have interesting levels there. Yeah, so, but for this demo, I'm thinking we're going to go for a more traditional, well, like a carnival on a pier. Yeah, a carnival, pair, circus. Like, I'm using all of those terms sort of interchangeably, but I know they do have subtle differences, but the same kind of gist. Yeah, anyways, let me close that. That was when I was doing font stuff. This is something I might eventually do with the wrenches, is put them, like, with the mini-map to some degree, but whatever. Enough visual stuff for now. Let's get the programming aspects of it actually working. Why are you not closing? Excuse me? Can you not? Why is it? It was paintable thing. Okay, thank you. It was frozen. I couldn't like click off of it. Whatever. Anyways, so what do we want to do first? So the clock UI currently exists. Do I want to do completing a level or failing a level? Okay. So of the two UI elements, the left side, the clock, has to do with the winning the level. The right side, the wrenches, have to do with failing the level. Which do we want to do first? I'm thinking the clock. Or the beating a level. Okay, so... Okay, so I have currently on the clock UI over here... Is that behind my head a little bit? Yes, it is. Over here. I have the system of how I put in what the start time is. So, right, like now I have it, it'll start at 7 p.m. So it is a.m. So right now if I change this to, I don't know, a 2, it'll start at 2 p.m. Let me double check that it actually is working. Behind my head. Okay, this is a little... I do a lot of like switching my face back and forth, but oh well. So you didn't really see it, so I can show it again. But it did start at 2... Is the AM, PM? Oh, no, it's 2 a.m. Oh, no, okay, it did the right thing. Just in my head, yeah, 2 a.m., yes. And if I uncheck this, it'll be 2 p.m. Yeah, okay, just making sure that's working as it should. Okay, and now, like, these day counters here, this will control, like, one, what day it is, which is more so just a level counter, like level 3, level 4. I just kind of wanted to have that. Yeah. And then the time here is like, what time are you actually trying to last to? Like, what's the opening time? What's the closing time? And these are bits of text that I can actually change. So, where is that text? Oh, whoops. Over here. I didn't change this. Time. No, open, close text. Yeah, so this I can change to different times as I please. So one thing we want to do is set that up. Is now the time to make a game manager? Because, yeah, in one centralized place, being able to set what level, what day is it, what's the start time, what's the closing time, doing that in like one place, like on one game object, just messing with a bunch of values to sort of set the things up for a level would be nice. And then the game manager goes and actually accesses everything else as it needs to. So let's go. I'm gonna call it level manager instead. Nope, I wanted the space there. Space, thank you. Yeah. Usually I like to be really modular with my code, and grouping a bunch of things in one script isn't always the best, but in this case I'm justified in doing that. Like I have rationale behind what I'm doing. So let's just go. Yeah, make level manager. Yep. Okay, so getting there. Why did you open? Yeah. Un momento. Waiting for things to do as Visual Studios decides to do. Okay, so variables. So public. We need a to replicate the values I had with the clock stuff. So it's gonna be an int between. Actually, I can make this a range. How do you do this? Like range 112. Public int start time, and it's represented as two things: an int for the time and a boolean for whether it's AM or PM. That's just how I have this. I could have this be an hour that goes between like 1 and 24. But this is fine. Is AM. This puts the default at PM, but that's it's whatever. And then closing time. And this actually needs to be, I guess, start is AM, and this needs to be close is AM. So cool, we have that. There was another thing the day counter. I was like, yeah, there's one more thing I'm missing here, which is more so just like a level number. I mean, technically the range could be greater than 0, but whatever. Nope. No. Okay. Public int day. Cool. So things we can set for levels. Could change the order of them, but whatever. Now, how do I want to actually use this information? So I'm going to need to get a reference to the clock UI. Set to start. And there's only, so usually what I do here is a, well, can you game object of find object of type? Clock UI. This only works if there's only one clock in a scene, which there is. So, yeah. Oh, I don't have to do game object of find? Okay, never mind. Right, yes. And then from here, I can then set up whatever I need to, which I think on here I'm going to make public functions that this calls, like set time to blah, something like that. Right, so this start here, this is what's setting up all the initial clock information based on hour, which is here. So instead of this being public, I almost need, instead this is going to be a public void setup. No, public void setup, which is going to be this, but it's basically going to be called by the game manager, level manager, or whatever. Yep. I'm just like thinking, like, is this how I want to do this? I think so. Oh, it's passed along an hour, and bool is So can I get rid of these then? Or no, this needs to continuously update, right? Hour plus plus. So this is more of a what is the current hour? So this is like cur hour. Hey, H Monkey, thanks for the follow. Hi, hello. Welcome to the stream. Or maybe you came here from that raid that happened earlier from Journey for the Crown. But yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so okay, we are doing our so setup is, oh, I need to set what the closing time is. Oh, I'll need to do something with that. That's fine. Okay, so now hour, that works in here. Now I need to replace these variables that I've changed the names of. So cur hour. Anywhere else? No, it's fine. And cur is AM, which I don't know. I could maybe have a better term for that, but oh well. Yep. I swear I used this one in other place. No? Oh, because I don't have any of the programming behind like actually detecting that's the end of the day yet. Anyways. Can I send you one last piece of concept art? Sorry, I just felt like doing art for some reason. Oh yeah, sure, go ahead. I do appreciate the suggestions and all that. And sorry with some of them that I'm not like necessarily taking some of them, but I have some rationale for doing so. But I appreciate all the potential things that people suggest, because I mean they have helped, and there's been some that I have taken all that. Oh, key to fix. Oh, yeah, for like when you get to a ride, actually having dialogue that says, press the button to fix. It's for the interaction pop-up for fixing things. I do need to make that at some point. That doesn't exist at all yet. And key will be like, or spacebar or something. I don't know. We'll see. A spacebar or a left click, I'm thinking currently. I'm purposely trying to limit the button count. Because, yeah, it makes it easier to play the game. Easier to play, but like easier to interact with the game, but the game itself is really hard. That's what I'm going for. Mr. Apothic, yeah. But no, I really like this. This is cool. I think, yeah, this is, would be something of the style I would use. I think, like, this kind of thing, but with the wrench, would be more of what I might, like, could be something I actually, like, what the actual UI looks like. Maybe. I'd have to play around with it. Like how it, yeah, would actually look. I'm thinking that this UI, rather than being on the screen, like all these UI elements, is something that more pops up in the world. Like, it looks more... So these are like UI elements, like, yeah, they're like 3D, but they're like against the screen. Whereas, for example, the circle UIs, like, these are in the environment. And I have that when you get close, like, below the player or around the player or above the player, that, like, UI pops up, but, like, in a way that's, like, anchored to the player. Could look cool. And then, yeah, either, like, the center of the screen or near the bottom. And another thing I might do is, so yeah, I could say key, like, press the key, the certain key to fix. But to make things easier on myself, if I want to make it so that you can change the controls and going between, like, maybe keyboard and controller, rather than the pop-up saying blank to fix, it more so is like a pop-up that just says, like, you are in range to be able to fix the thing. So it might just say fix or something. But more so, yeah, a pop-up indicating that you now are in range that you can fix the thing, but not having the actual button written there, so that I don't have to, so that it would be easier to work on any button configurations. But I don't know. We'll see. I could go through that length to detect what the button is, and if they change it, then changing what the text says or something like that. I could look into doing that, but that would also be a lot. But we'll see. Then, ooh, yeah, a wrench. That would be awesome. Yeah, like, basically, like, kind of like the wrenches I have in the corner behind my head right now. That sort of thing. And, yeah. Oh, I would create a DBD style fix system. I don't know what DBD is, sorry. But the fix system right now, as I said before, I'm leaving it being super simple because I want the core gameplay to be focused on the traversal more than the actual, the fixing. And also, I don't want to overscope with this too much because I need to actually finish a demo of this in a week. So for now, we're leaving the fixing as just, all the fixing is you hold the button and it fixes in a few seconds. That's all for right now, because I want to focus more on the traversal, like the unicycle movement and all the obstacles and the power-ups and all that stuff. I want to focus more on that for now, and then maybe eventually I could add, like, I was thinking of maybe the actual fixing could be like little mini games or something like that. Just like the image of the wrench pops up near things. Exactly. It could be something like that. By not having the text there, or it could be the text that says fix, or maybe just a symbol. By not having it, actually having to write the button, it'll save me a lot of programming, which, you know, can be worth the time, potentially. And make it easier for if I decide, oh, I want to make a mobile port and a VR port, you know, port on the Xbox, port on the Switch. Just wait until you see the unicycle, the Handyman with a unicycle on Nintendo Switch. But, like, in actuality, though, like, that would save a lot of time to not have to worry about that. Obviously, I guess for a tutorial, I will have to worry about that now that I think about it, but I'll figure that out when I get there. I'm not actually, like, there's no way this game would ever make it on the Switch, but who knows. But yeah, Dead by Daylight, when you're fixing generators, you occasionally get a, QuickTime event where you have to push the buttons at a certain time. Oh, I could do QuickTime events. Oh, interesting. I don't know how I didn't think about that. Huh. That might be better than minigames, only because that would be easier to program. Like, if I decided to do minigames, I would have to make a whole bunch of different minigames for all these different situations. Now, maybe it'd only be like a handful, like there's only like 4 of them, and I should reuse them a lot. But, it just be QuickTime events as you fix the things. Huh. I kind of like that better, frankly. And it would be a lot, like, like lowering the scope of it so it's like more reasonable. So interesting. And then yeah, if you miss the hit, the generator pops and the killer gets alerted. Ooh, in this case, if you failed the quick time event, I think that wouldn't immediately break the ride. I think that would be a bit too punishing. I think it's more so just a time waster. Like it will, actually Sonic. No, this is Sonic Colors, the music playing right now. But Sonic Unleashed, it has some quick time events. I'm trying to think of. It's sort of like I don't know how to describe this. Okay, a bad example, but like having like, so let's say it's like 3 button prompts. It like comes up with like X, Y, X. And you press them and you get them successfully. It's like it does a ding and then it's fixed. If you fail them, it does like a buzzer and brings up a new set of 3 numbers. I could do like that kind of system. Maybe it's that kind of system where if you fail the QuickTime event, you fail pressing the 3 buttons in the right order, it'll buzz, bring up a new 3 things that you have to press, and then yeah, do it that way. By failing, it's more so just wasting more time. Which means that the bar of how long you have to repair it is still going down, so if you keep failing it, eventually it will hit the point of completely breaking. Could do it like that, although that does mean that then I have to introduce more buttons for all the buttons that you have to potentially press. On a controller, that's fine, it's just the 4 buttons, but on a keyboard, I don't know what buttons I would... Could like, you know, Q, E, or like 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe, I don't know. I mean, I could be nice to have it that like the player can change the buttons, but yeah, we'll see how that ends up doing. But again, for right now, we're gonna leave the fixing exactly how it is right now because I have a bunch of other parts of the game to do first. So do things one step at a time. So I'm already kind of overscoping as it is. Anyways, what was I just doing? Oh, I was getting the level manager to control the start and end time. And actually programming the end time into existing. So, clock UI dot setup. Okay. I'm going to do one thing, though, is that... Oh, these should be private now. I'm going to give these default values so that if the level manager doesn't exist, I want the clock UI to still... it'd be nice if it still kind of worked. Or, like... this doesn't need to say, but just this being not 0, the current hour should never be 0 because it goes from 1 to 12. Or I don't know. Actually, maybe it's fine. Let me just. Is it fine? I can delete this. Void setup. Da da da. Yeah, okay, let me just try this. I'm like, is this gonna work? Am I missing something? I think I'm missing something, but... Oh, I didn't add the script. That's one important part. Oh, errors. Setup? Oh, I have to pass along... Yeah, right, of course. Yep. This will also change the text, or some part of this is gonna change that actual text to match. Eventually. But, oh... you wouldn't be the Cybercrow we all know and love. You didn't get constantly sidetracked to give yourself 50 times more work than what's asked of you. Yep, that's what I do, and that's who I am. Oh, what's going on here? Interesting line. Why the default like that? That was weird. I'm just gonna do this. Even though it says range 1 to 12, if you don't give this a default value in that range, it starts being outside of that range. Okay, sure. Why not? Okay. Yep. Alright. There we go. Wait, I didn't even pay attention to if that did anything I wanted it to. So it should be 1 p.m. 1 p.m., yeah. One thing I'm also gonna do, because I can, because this is now a more visual thing to interact with, I'm gonna, instead of having a Boolean, I'm gonna make an enum that's, AM, PM. Is there like a one-word name for what that's called? I tried looking up before, but I couldn't find it. The M stands for, like, meridian, but I don't know if that's what you would call those if you were to try to describe what is an AM and a PM as one word. I don't know. AM, PM. Do capitals. Doesn't matter. Yeah, this, and then public, Appum. Is this gonna be the name here? Start am or pum. Sure, I guess. If I just pass this equal, wait. Now to this I pass along, like leave it being a boolean there because it that's better for it. This is am PM dot am. This will be a boolean, like whether this is a or wait, is am the default or is PM the default? PM's the default. No, is AM. No, it's called is AM. No, yeah, it's whether it's AM. Yeah. Alrighty. So let's say I want the start time to be 5 p.m. Does that work? Yeah, 5 p.m. Okay. That is just a visual thing, basically. But, well, it was behind my head a bit. But now just, like, I don't know. Clicking AM or PM instead of it being a boolean just made it a little better. Yep. So, yeah, there we go. And then day... Yeah. Actually, what day equals 1? The day should be 0. I mean, the tutorial level could be like day 0, but that's whatever. I'll put defaults in here. No, not that. Over here. AM, PM is usually just called standard time versus military time. Yeah, fair enough. I'm not gonna put this like the name of the variable here and the name of the email is not gonna be standard. Standard time, I don't know. More to like day or night. Well, kind of. Night, whatever. Start AM or PM and close AM. It's fine. It works. It's functional. Okay. So now what I want to do is actually get a hold of this text here. That's still behind my head. The text here that says 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. I want to actually override that with what I've now filled in. And the day counter as well. That'll happen hand in hand. So first of all, I need to get reference to those things. Where do I want to do this? I see ways of doing this. I'm trying to think of like what's the best way. Like it's not what do I want to do, it's where do I want to write this code? Do I want this code to be on the level manager? Do I want it to be on the text objects themselves? Do I want it to be on the clock? It only matters a little bit in terms of like performance. Not performance, in terms of optimization and making things easier to change. So does the clock itself, the clock UI, need to know what time? No, yeah, it knows this, and every time it changes, hits a new hour, it needs to test for if it's actually hit its closing time. Okay, so it needs, so the clock UI, more things. Also, I haven't really been in chat much for a hot minute, but I have been pulling your streams up still. Woo! Yeah, a while back, or in December, I had to stop streaming for like a month and a half. Got super busy with school and then like family stuff with it being Christmas and just all that. It was like end of December and a lot of January, but then I was back and wasn't dead in the water, thankfully. So yeah, still back to just doing same old, making random school projects that happen to be game dev things. Continuing to do that. For now, this April I graduate, so that'll be cool. And then over the summer, then hopefully I'll be doing more like personal projects, which I mean, frankly, might just be this Unicycle game if it is going really well. But yeah, watch you play a lot of Overcooked and all that. Yeah, that was like a week ago. Because actually, the reason I did that, or you probably maybe saw it in the video, but I ended up writing a big. Where are you? 1 second. Shazam. I wrote a big game critique. Oh, images could load at some point. Yeah, I wrote a big game critique essay thing on Overcooked 2. Where I compared some parts to the first game. But, yeah, look at all this writing. Anyways, more so showing the volume of, like, the writing more so than the actual essay. Anyways, so that was a thing. Yeah, and then as part of that, yeah, I went through and played through all of Overcooked 1 and all of Overcooked 2. Did not need to do that. I could just watch some YouTube videos, but I felt like it was also an excuse to take a bit of a break. Also, 100% in Overcooked 1 for the first time ever. So, yeah. It was also actually, it was helpful to gather some screenshots and look at certain parts of the gameplay by having it like a complete save file. So, yeah. Anyways, so that's that. Still, yeah, be playing more games here and there. But as the month goes on, I'm getting busier and busier with all the school stuff I gotta get done. I have a lot of things I need to get done in a short period of time, so hopefully I will be able to successfully do that. But then over the summer, I imagine I'll have more, free time to do other things. Like, also recently, I improved the layout of my stream, so that was the thing. I was kind of forced to, well, it started with Streamlabs breaking, but then rather than fixing it, I jumped over to using stream elements instead. I intended to do that for a while, but yeah, as a process, improved my overlay stuff and all that. And we'll be continuing to make subtle improvements and changes as time goes on. Anywho, so what was I doing here? I need the... I'm trying to figure out how I want to best handle the closing time thing. So I think I'm going to store this here. Closing hour and... the clock itself does not need to keep track of the starting time other than setting it initially, but yeah. Oh, so many people have switched to Stream Elements and OBS, including myself. Yeah, because Streamlabs did us dirty. Yep, they did. Which I was intending to switch over a bit after, like, all that happened. Never got around to it, but then it, like, for some reason, like, the chat thing just stopped updating, and I don't know why it wasn't working, but I was like, better opportunity, like, or good opportunity as ever, like, something I was putting off anyway. Yeah, went about doing it. At first, I was trying to just get it look exactly the same, and that wasn't happening, so then I just went in a different direction, and mainly, like, with the chat, yeah, I'm happy with how it looks now. Also, I've been able to incorporate more of my logo colors, my brand colors of cyan, magenta, and yellow, where that was absent before. Yeah. Okay, so I need this to pass along. Okay, this is gonna be start hour and... Or is it start or open? Whatever. Start is AM, and then the closing versions of both of those. I'll need to pass all of that information along. It's all important. Okay, so this stuff's gonna use start, this and this. We also do a thing in chat for interactivity. Every time a new song comes on with this playlist, try to guess what game it's from, or like, if you get that specific, what level of what game. It's all, I think all of it is like level music or boss music or hub world music from a video game. So, yeah. Mostly old games, because better with not running into copyright issues. It turns out the Cuphead soundtrack gets you copyright claimed. So, yeah. Okay, anyways. What was I just doing? I need to now set the close time. So, closing time equals... Well, I get... sure. This thing. Okay, one has an ing and one doesn't. That's a bit weird naming conventions, but whatever, it's fine. It doesn't matter that much. I just needed to, like, grab these values. Okay. So now I need this side to actually pass that information along. It's a little important. Okay, so now I think the clock UI, because I have the text being a part of the clock UI will actually set up that information, right? Right? I think so. Well, wait. I'm just realizing that. So I don't like to have two-way coupling. I don't want, if the level manager is referencing the clock, I don't want the clock to reference the level manager. I just don't like that tight coupling. Rather, it all be one way where I can. Oh, I didn't do this. Hold on. So I'm thinking ahead of once I got all the visual stuff in place. How does the level manager know when we've won? Because I imagine the level manager will deal with the actual winning or failing. Like, it'll probably like bring up whatever UI to restart the level and whatever things happen to also maybe like disable the player being able to move and things like that. That'll all happen from the level manager. So the level manager needs to know, hey, we just won, or hey, we just failed. So the clock UI could call a function on level manager. I don't want to do that. I could do it with broadcasting messages and stuff, but for a one-way thing, I don't like doing that. Broadcasting messages would be more for like one thing go to many things. So other thing I can do is I have a way of doing it in my head. I don't know if I like it though. Could just, I mean, you'll need to check every frame anyway, so okay. Clock UI dot has one. Call a function there, which oblique bool has one. That is just going to return a boolean I now need to make. Yeah, no, the boolean will be has one, I guess. And then whenever I switch the times, okay. This is the way this is supposed to be done. Oh yeah, this could have been a public variable, and I just like, or could have been a public variable, but this is, I think, better to not do that. I think. Anyways, whatever, this works. I can, like, yeah, that, actually I'm gonna print this out for right now. I also need a you failed. Elif? No, this is in Python. I was just coding in Python technically earlier today because I pulled an all-nighter. And then slept like through the middle of the day. Test for lose. I was gonna put you lose, just you suck. I'm just gonna do that for now. Okay. Wait. No. This is not going to be in this. This is going to be the strikes UI. So we don't have a strikes UI yet. We will eventually. Momentarily, we're going to have something that manages the number of strikes we have. And that's what we're going to test for lose. If I could spell, that'd be great. Yes. Get good, nerd, as the fail screen. In reality, I won't be that condescending. Okay, this equals... this is code that doesn't exist yet. I will make the function momentarily. Or the mono behavior. C# script, whatever term. I don't know if this will have a setup. Because it'll always do the same starting up process of, well, nothing really. This is like for those wrenches UI, and just that number of strikes left is 3. Actually, okay, no, that's not entirely true. I was considering having like a hard mode where you only have 1 strike, in which case setup would be required. Yeah, we shall see. Anyways, but if I was gonna, yeah, so do this. For now, I won't worry about it until I see that it's necessary. Okay, so do something like this. And then, let me make that script, just so otherwise things are going to keep erroring at me until I do. Let things compile. Okay, so this is a UI thing. So go in there. Strikes. strikes UI. Yeah. Like, do I make it plural? Yeah, I shall. Oh, but that thing's not plural. I'll make it plural in a moment. That moment is now. There. Okay. It's like, wait, I'm missing something. So for now, this is just going to store a public int strikes left. It's 3. Why am I making it public? And then this will have that public test for lose. And what public bool return strikes left equals 0. That's all this needs to do for now. Eventually this will have the code that actually makes the strikes go down, but that's like a for now thing. Okay. That does things. Cool. So now we need to actually make this has one variable do what it's supposed to do, which will just be let's see. So every time that the hour hand changes, which is going to be here, when this function is called, that means that the hour just changed. When the hour has changed, let's see if it's now the hour that we want to have, right? I'll do it like after. So if no, oh yeah, if we've won, the clock should also probably stop. I'd like the hour hand should still do the last like snap over, so it shouldn't just immediately freeze. But I guess the minute hand should stop, and then the hour hand should, everything else should keep going. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. So if so to test if we've won, this is gonna be testing if our cur hour is equal to closing hour, and the cur is AM is equal to closing is AM. That's all. And then has one equals true. No. Yep. And then here's another thing I can do. Spin minute hands. All of this can be an if statement that's like if we have not won. Right? Because I still want... these should still spin to what they were going to spin to. They just... if the minute hand stops, they'll never go to the next thing. I think. Is that all I want here? Okay. I think so. Still haven't changed those text things. Do I want to do that on this script? It's already getting quite long. I don't know, maybe I should deal with the text on something else. Actually, I don't know. I only need to change the text once and then never again, so... we'll see. So, wait, what did I set things to? Oh, errors, right, because I probably have to drag something over. Or level manager. No? Wait, actually, what was your problem? You didn't get the strikes UI, because it doesn't exist, right. I made the script, but it's not anywhere on anything. These should be under, like, a empty game object that's, like, strikes. I don't know if I like it being zeroed like that, but, whatever, it's fine. Like, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Okay. This will have strikes UI, which currently does nothing, but it'll be enough to have things stop erroring. Okay, cool. Next, I want to do... okay, let me actually test is U1 able to happen. So if I set the start time to 5 p.m., and even though there's no visuals for that we're about to hit the end time, like, we'll get there, in 1 hour, I should get a you win message. Or not. Start time is 5 p.m. Close time is 6 p.m. That's what should be getting compared. Let me see what is happening. Wait, this is in the wrong place. This is testing every frame, but which isn't even what I wanted to do. I only need to test every time I change the hour. Right, that is actually in this bit of code. So, minor change, but let me print what these were. As a bunch of being indecisive. Or let me just print both booleans, but as separate things, like this, but like that. I'll get 2 booleans. No, you don't like this? If I do this, will you be fine? There you go. Just needed some brackets. Okay, go. False true. Okay, why? The AMs and the PMs were flipped from what they thought they were. Wait, so the... Oh. Cur hour... Wait, okay. So these are off somehow. Is this one lower than it actually is? I don't remember if, like, 0 is up or... Okay, print those. Okay. So also, I could stop going into doing maximize play, but... No, he went twice around. Okay. 2 and 6. Wait. 2? So you think that the current hour is 2, and the closing time is right. So I must not have set cur hour right. Oh, I don't think I set it at all. Oh, yeah, okay, that's it. I never set up cur hour properly. And then cur is am equals start is am. There we go. Apothit.exe has acquired so far 2,000 to go. Woo! Good on ya. Or should be fear. Or should be in fear, shouldn't I? You won! Yeah, we won continuously, except that it should have only printed one you won message. No, it makes sense. Okay, cool. We are able to win now. Kind of. Yeah, this will... I'll do stuff that... These only run, like, once, but for now, it's fine. Wait, did the clock actually stop? I didn't even pay attention to that. Does the clock stop when we win? Yeah, that's what we wanted, baby. Mouse. Okay. Yes. So now we want to actually change the text to match with what's needing to happen. Okay. So how do I want to manage that? Okay, I think on the clock UI, I'm just gonna go using. It'll just be part of its setup here, I think. That's fine. Using Unity Engine.ui and then go. I'll just make them public. It's fine. Public text day text and then public text open close text. I don't like how in some places I'm using open and in other places I'm using start, but whatever, it's fine. Okay, so now in this setup, it'll be all the way at the bottom. Okay. The text, I don't need to do a get reference because that's why I made it public. Okay. Wait, why did I just need the variable names. I didn't need to copy all of that. Oh, whatever, it's fine. Okay. Dot text equals something that's getting passed along, whatever the day count is. That's going to be at the end. Okay. Equals day. And then open close text is going to be... Oh, wait, no. This is a string, so... Yeah. I can do like string.format stuff, but... So this is going to be... Okay, this one's more complicated. This string is going to be... so the open hour... What's the start hour? Plus... either the text AM or the text PM, depending on the value of the Boolean. Okay, actually, this might be more Here, I have ideas. Okay, wait, why don't you, like, is start hour equals start hour dot toString? Right, there's a dot toString, yeah. I could do, that's probably, wait, you don't like this? Can't convert string to UI, oh, dot text. Oh, of course, yeah, maybe. Also, I don't need a toString here, but I guess I will, because it's probably just good form to do that, or whatever. Anyways, I wanted to go, put this in an if statement, go if is AM, start AM. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute. Just gotta have it in my mind. Just plus equals AM. Plus equals PM. Technically, I could choose just to like add an A or a P, but like, and then just add the M regardless. But no, you don't like this? Oh, dot text. Cool. And I'll need this again for the close time in a second. And then in here, I need to add a dash, and then the next bit of whether, like, whatever the closing hour is. Okay, is that all? I think so. So this was actually, well, because it's longer. Or nah. I was gonna say I was gonna stick this in its own function, but maybe I should. But don't worry about it for right now. Whatever. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Nope, it's not. You. No parameter day. Okay, they didn't pass in the day. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Doesn't need to be that pretty, it just needs to work. But if I skimp out on making it pretty, then I might have some, oh, right. Trouble down the line when I go to change anything. Where's the text here? Oh, it's on this. Yep, hold on. I just need to pass into the day text, not there. On the clock UI, I need to pass in the day text and the open and closed text. All right. Let's see this work. It should be 5 to 6. Oh, no. No. Wait, I think I know why. Because I didn't put a plus equals. I think I missed one. Yep. All right. I didn't even pay attention if the day count was working. Okay, let me go back to the level manager. So let's go. It's 3 a.m. to 9. 3 a.m. to 8 p.m. day 5. Let's see all that happen. Go. Wait, did I say 8? I did say 8. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's working. Woo. Okay, the day count is weird. It's the formatting be improved, but yeah. What I do need is that the text is able to store whatever the like largest things are, like, because I'm not resizing the pieces of wood. I could in theory, but I'm gonna try not to. So 12, like 12 in both spots is the longest that would be, I guess. But the day should be centered like the numbers are. How would I do that? That's gonna be this. Center it. Yeah. Might also, even for the 12, I might just make this wood slightly smaller. But like, barely anything. That was too much. Even this thing's the tiniest little bit thinner. So let's see this go again. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that works. Woo! So that is the how long you're lasting till. Woo. Now I have more ideas to make it more user friendly, but in how things should be. But yeah, let's see if this works. So you're lasting till 3 a.m. Oh, it's gonna be another cycle around. Well, okay, that was a good test that it didn't 3 p.m. didn't trigger a win when it says 3 a. Oh no, sorry, no, it's 8 p.m. Still. And we've won. Supposedly. Alright. Yeah, it's working. Nice. I had the idea of making whatever numbers you're trying to get to. Here. I was playing around with this before. Making numbers green. Doing like something like that for wherever you're trying to go to. Could help. You don't really need to care about what the start time is, I don't think. Oh. Yeah. But this will like require, yeah, swapping out mesh renders. Even potentially on the numbers. I had the idea of... Okay, let me test out an idea. What did I currently set this set to? Did it manually set something up? 8 p.m. So, on the back of here, if I can find the 8s. I said PM? I experimented with this idea earlier. I want to experiment with it again. So if I did this through code, what I just did manually, if I did that through code, you're trying to last to 8 p.m. Yeah, because it's going to get to the 8, but it's like, oh, you need all the numbers to be green. The AM, PM part ain't green, so no dice. Until it goes all the way around again. So basically you need all of the greens. Yeah. As you're riding around fixing rides, oh no! Hitting hazards, things, yeah. And that. And then it all stops. Okay, I like that, I think. Yeah. Interesting. So, yeah, I guess I would have to... Oh, that's gonna be annoying. Doing that all through code. Oof. I'm gonna need to get a reference to every single number. Right? If I do some things through arrays, actually maybe it won't be that bad. Right? Mainly the wheel. The wheels are going to be annoying, but doable. Okay. Very well then. Public, transform, no. Actually, all I need is mesh renderers here. I'm getting just a bunch of mesh renderers. Public, to swap out materials. Which means I'm also going to need that material. Public, material, what do I call it? I don't want to call it green. I like to call it, like, not based on the color, but the what it is. Oops, right time map. I don't know. And then this is going to be... So this is going to be a bunch of mesh renders that is all the, like, the clock hand numbers. Clock numbers. And then we're going to have the spin wheel 1's numbers and spin wheel 10 numbers. Like the 10's column. And then we need all the AMs, PMs. Whatever. So... Yes. I'm just like, is this... Yeah, okay. So let's do this one at a time then. I need to go in setup. I only need to do this in setup. This is going to go above changing the text. Which is here. Actually, before I go any more forward, let's see if I can split some of this up. Make this a function that's like void. Yeah, this needs to take in some things. Like, I need to pass along things from here. So what do I need, or what can I get away with? So, if I set the cur hour, I don't need, like, these are the same. So I can just use them. I'll need to pass along the day, I think. I don't think the clock ever needs to keep really track of the day. Oops, not like that. But all these can use the cur equivalents. No, not closing hour. Oh, closing is what the ones I set into. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. A little bit nicer, just a little bit. I'm also gonna do this as the first thing it does. Up here. And then these can go off of these again. Which could mean down the line, then these could become into a different function. And have it be easier, not to pass along as much. Just double checking here. Yeah, cur. They're not. Where do I use the cur is AM PM thing? I don't use that with that. Ah, yes I do. There we go. Okay. Just deciding if I want to split anything else into other functions before I move on. Whatever. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. So what? Wait, what was I setting up now? Color numbers is what this is gonna be. I'm gonna do the Canadian spelling with the U. So I'll figure out what this needs as I go along, like what I need to pass along. So doing this one at a time. The clock numbers. All I need to do is the number of the array, maybe -1, or yeah, there's hours -1. Color that one. So clock numbers at I is going to be cur hour -1 dot material equals like that green material that I'm forgetting the name of already. Where are ya? You're in the public thing. Right time met. You don't like this? Is this not the same? Oh, there was an S. Okay, gotcha. So actually, that should be easy and a nice one-line thing. The other ones actually might be the same logic if I make the arrays right. Not the AMP one. That was a little weird. And actually, no, the 0 1s doesn't work that way. Never mind. Right. Oops. I messed up. Okay. Oops. No, I want this, and then this one being the 10s. Except instead of it being per hour, why don't you like this? Because that's not even the right variable. Of course. This is what I want. And I'll just put in this spot here for the, what was it called? AMP. So these need to be some values here. So what I basically need is the ones column. How can I get that? I need like the ones column of the cur hour. I can think of ways of doing that. What's like an easy one line way? And then this is basically either the 0, the 1, or the 2. I'm trying to think. I could do if statements, but is there some nice one-line thing? Can I could turn it into a string, crop off the, like, get the second digit, get back to an int? It's gotta be a better way. Let's just go C#, get one's digit. It's gotta be, come on, let me skip to, like, Should take the modulus, I guess doing that on start wouldn't be terrible. I'm not dealing with negative numbers. Sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Just this. And then -1 afterwards, I think. Yeah. Yep. Then how do I get the second digit? Then I modulate this like by 100 and... Or something along those lines. 1 second. So whatever the left digit... I can subtract 10 and round, I guess. Logarithms? No. No, thank you. No, thank you. Divided by 10 modulus 10. Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it makes sense. Yes, I'm just not thinking. Make sure brackets are good. Subtract 1, like, as the last thing. This one's gonna be trickier, because I have... The weird way I did the AM PM wheel, I'm going to change, like, multiple things here. Either change... Yeah. Let's go 4... I should be testing these one at a time, but I'm going to be bold and hope that it's all going to work. First try, no problems. I less than... Start length. Much more so, actually, that I plus equals 2. Actually, here's what we're going to do. Wait, this is supposed to go off closing. This is all supposed to go off closing. Oops. That would have been a problem. Aha. I caught it. Because otherwise that would have just set, like, whatever the starting hour was. No, this is supposed to be closing AM. Okay. I probably could do this more efficiently, but... Oh well. All I do is change I there, still go up by 2, I think. Not... This. Yeah, now this is going to be I. Just normal I. Doesn't need the -1 anymore. Okay, now this is going to be either perfect or, like, I need to flip them. I will test and let's see. So now I need to do the tediousness of just passing in all the numbers. Go on this side of the screen so you can see me doing that. So I need to pass in all the clock numbers. And I need to make sure that they're in order, so we're going to hope that if I just drag these in, that they will be. So, 1 to 12. Nice. Okay, and the ones column, spinny wheel, numbers. Perfect. Oh wait, this does go from 0 up. Oh wait, wait, why did more... Oh, I put in the wrong thing. This goes from 0 to 9, so this is different, in that it doesn't need the -1, I think. Or will it? We'll see. I'll see. Actually, this might have to be where the first element is the 1. It goes 1 to 9 and then 0. Right? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'll mess with it. See how it works for right now. The tens column. Whatever I do with one of these, the tens column is going to have to be the same. Like, whatever I do the ones, the tens will be the same, I think. In terms of the structure of how they're passed along in here. And then the AMs and PM ones. There's a bunch of them. Oh. That's not how I thought this was. Wait, this is wrong. Why are the numbers wrong? Wait, the number's wrong. Did I duplicate AM at one point? I did. I gotcha. Okay. This. Get rid of that. Yeah, let that re-import. Shouldn't have been making much of a difference, but yeah, less than correct. Okay, these I just need to pass in manually. Real quick. Actually, I could go like one half the right to the other, but I'd rather like the order of these is sort of like going along the wheel. I'd like to have that structure to it. if I can help it. Which is what this should be doing. Okay. Let's just see what this is going to do. First try. It didn't even color it right because I didn't pass in the material. I didn't even pay attention to if it got the numbers right, but... yeah. Okay, so now we're going to look at this only one at a time. If it all works, sure, but like we're going to fix it one at a time, focusing on the outer clock thing. So it got an 8. It got the 0. 8 p.m. is the time. So, okay, let's just see. It got the 8. Okay, if it got the PMs, which I think it did. Let me just see it, go back to PM. Oh, it didn't do the PMs. I was gonna say, yeah, it worked first try, but no, it almost did. It almost did. it did the numbers perfectly. That was perfect. Well, actually, I'll have to test more. I'll test more combos, but it worked for 8. So it worked for a 0-8. I just want to now test... Oh, these don't need to be here, I guess. I just want to... oh, I need to do something with the AM. What's wrong with it exactly? I thought that... It... Wait, 10's AM... What? Wait, is that what I called it? I messed up the name a lot. Actually, not a lot, but enough that I need to change it, which means I'm going to need to re-put in variables. Yeah. Let's do that real quick. So, AM is the first element. That's maybe good to know. AM, PM, AM2, PM2. If I can't figure this out, then I'll just go like AM's on half of this array, PM's on the other half, but this should work, but I don't know why it's not. Here, let me look at no, I'm trying to, let me move things as I wish. I'm trying to find, not you. Oh, you're not moving, yes. Disable these, now I can't move the camera. Just so I can, actually I could just link this to you, but whatever. What I'm trying to just have a look at is the wheel here. How did it do? Like, what did it do? It made both an AM and the PM both the same. Let me double check that these are how I think they are. No, they're just named wrong. Oh, okay. So the logic is fine. I've just somehow named these wrong. AM. Yeah, that's not how it's supposed to be. So this is AM. This one here, it should be PM1. This one's PM. Continue to go along. This is AM2. Yeah. Then this should be PM2, which is it's not. Then this is AM3. And this will be PM3. Okay. See how that do? So then the code, in theory, is correct. Let's see. Let's have a gander. Okay, good sign. Maybe. I can see the bits of green on both of those. The reason I have the AM wheel being complete, even though you only ever see 2 of them, is, well, one, just the completeness of it, I guess. But also, that I might have... Oh, I didn't realize the back of this was maybe looking kind of like that. That's interesting. There might potentially be like an endless mode, in which case I want the wheel to keep spinning. I don't have to like have it go like up, down, necessarily. Just have it keep going over. Okay. And we hit 8 p.m. That PM looks like it's slightly too high. Which one are you? You are PM2. No, you're not. Yeah, this one's like slightly up too high. You are the original. which translates to this one. Okay. Is this the local Y? Okay. So yeah, this updates. I won't update until I'm out of play mode. I'm just gonna hope for the best. It's probably fine. Alright, is that working? Woo! Huzzah! Yeah! Alright. Now, I want to try something else. One other little thing. I have the clock number here. I just want to try going transform dot local scale times equals. I can't wait. This doesn't work for doubling the scale. I think doubling might be too much, but I just want to see if, in general, if this will work. Whatever number is going green becomes twice the size. Okay, that worked. Maybe just 1.1, just like a little bit, maybe. I could mess with the pivot so that like doubling the size pushes it more towards the center, kind of. But it's not that obvious. Make it more obvious. Shall we see? Interesting. I think just like a tiny bit smaller, just a tiny bit, maybe like 1.3. And this also would be a good opportunity to. I should actually make sure that other combinations are working. Like it's working for 8 p.m. Cool. Let's make sure that it's working on everything else. Okay, that works. Yeah. Like for this one. So let's do level manager. Let's go 10. Mainly going above 10. I want to make sure that that's working properly. Oh, this has been behind my head. I am sorry. And a day count that's above. That's above 10. Yeah. Okay. So it's going from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Cool. Hey, it did the things. Awesome. What else do I want to test? This. Oh, I should. Oh, 12. Oh, that's right. The 12, 3, 6, 9 numbers. Because I made them slightly bigger by a default. Go 1.2. Yeah. I want to test that. We'll go 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. Or 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. All the way around. But I want to see if Oh, okay, starting on a 12 was fine. Like starting on a changeover of AM to PM was good. I want to see if finishing on the changeover from AM to PM, just make sure that is working, I guess. I'm gonna ride around while I'm doing so. Woo. Okay, don't miss it. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. All right. Yeah, this is working. This is working quite nicely. I'm happy with this. Huzzah. So now, obviously, nothing happens when we win, but we have better visuals that tell us when we win. So, I guess I could do,